situation.
Fighting has broken out along the border between Lebanon and Syria. It comes after 3 Syrian soldiers were killed in earlier clashes.
The Lebanese and Syrian armies say they're communicating with each other in an attempt to ease tensions. However, Lebanese troops have been deployed in large numbers in the area, families fleeing towards Hamel in Syria amid the overnight clashes and shelling. The violence comes a month after days-long fighting between the Syrian military and armed Lebanese Shia groups closely allied with the ousted Bashar Assad government. Lebanon's been seeking international support to boost funding for its military as it gradually deploys troops along its porous northern and eastern borders with Syria and along its southern border with Israel. I'm Charles Tillades.
Lithuanian authorities accuse Russian military intelligence of being behind an arson attack on an IKEA store in the Lithuanian capital last year. News and analysis, townhall.com. It's just one more aspect of the devastating toll taken by the Southern California wildfires.
The state's top insurance regulator says he will approve an emergency request from State Farm to raise home insurance rates for roughly 1 million customers if the company can justify the hike at a public hearing. Now, the company says it needs to quickly rebuild its capital to prevent a, quote, dire financial situation following the L.A. wildfires that destroyed thousands of homes. State Farm wants to increase premiums on homeowners by some 22%. Jason Walker reporting.
Oklahomans assessing the devastation after wildfires damaged or destroyed hundreds of homes around the state during the weekend severe weather outbreak. Officials say at least 4 people were killed as a result of the wildfires and the high winds. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
Top of the morning to you, everybody.
Yes. Get your green on if you don't have it.
Yeah, I forgot to do that this morning, so I'm
Your
going to
Green
have
Bay
to
Packers
keep
up.
the hoodie on for a little while.
I went bottom.
Run home. You bottomless? Are you Daffy Ducking it?
I'm green
Or Darn
bottom.
looking it? Oh, are you green bottoms?
Green bottoms up.
Let's see. Look at you with your green bottoms. Yeah, I might have to run home at some point and change. 'Cause if it's going to get warm today.
Yeah,
I'm not
it is.
gonna
The
rock
high's
it.
like 80 today.
Yeah, I'm
so I
not
went
rocking this
bottom.
hoodie all day.
I went green bottom.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a pair of green sweatpants. So hence, today's the day.
There you go. It felt right. Today felt right.
So,
Well
hey,
played.
happy Monday. Happy St. Patty's Day
Yes.
for all those that celebrate.
Welcome to it. Hopefully you had a great weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was you went down El Paso wrestling? How was the wrestling?
It was definitely an eventful weekend. The show itself was phenomenal. I've never been to an actual televised wrestling event, like big time professional thing. It was awesome. I mean, from just the setup to the way they did the card, because it was a taping, so they do 2 episodes worth of matches and angles within this one
now,
night.
What company is this again?
It's TNA.
TNA.
It's total nonstop action for you perverts out there.
Gotcha.
And this was the 2 weeks of tapings following their Sacrifice pay-per-view. So this is like the fallout from the pay-per-view and kind of setting up new stories.
So these will show up on
this Thursday and next Thursday on Access TV.
Okay.
Yeah. We had fantastic seats. I was 4 rows back.
Yeah.
Jocelyn was about 2 rows ahead of me.
Okay.
And then her kids were at the very front row, ringside essentially.
Nice.
Roy was
catch the sweat.
It was confusing because we thought Roy was in our section, but then he got moved over to the other section. I think Roy was like maybe 4 or 5 rows back.
Okay.
So still pretty close.
Everyone was pretty.
Yeah.
Enough to catch the talkins, the sweatins, and maybe occasional flying body.
What I wasn't expecting, and this is the first time I've ever experienced like something like this, how much you actually feel the impacts. Like when somebody was like thrown from the ring to the floor, I felt it in my feet.
Yeah.
Like I could feel their body hit the ground. Which they're yes, wrestling is predetermined. There was nothing fake about what we saw.
They're taking bumps and they're taking hits. They're taking there is actual activity, physical activity.
The chops to the chest. I mean, it was.
So where I was sitting, it was the hard camera perspective. So I got to see basically what everyone else on TV sees, from their perspective,
right?
But like in person,
nice.
And they got to sit more like on the side, so they got to be like more on camera and stuff.
It was weird. It's kind of like going to like watch if you're like standing off to the side stage watching a band play because they're not performing to you, they're performing to the crowd. So you're just like watching everybody's side, and then like every now and again we'd all turn around because there was a monitor behind us to show what the camera was seeing. So like when they would brawl to the other side with like the ring steps and all that, we would all just turn around to look at the screen just to see what was happening. But they actually ended up brawling out by us. A couple of the wrestlers were like right next to our feet. And I got to give props to Roy. Roy is one of the most creative sign creators I've ever seen in my life. He had a fantastic. We did basically a 2-sided sign.
Okay.
His said, one side said, "Shut up, town," which is a reference to a wrestler. Something he says to folks. And then another one was a reference to another wrestler, Ryan Nemeth, who always talks about his big brother. So that was his sign, my brother.
So you were in on all the storylines and everything else.
What was amazing because like he showed when I showed up to or when I picked him up and all that, he had just 2 blank poster boards and like a bag with some markers and stuff. I was like, he was going to make these like in real time.
Right.
So I get to his hotel room to pick him up to get to the show, and he's sitting there. He's like, okay, so he takes a pencil to kind of draw out the sign. Have you ever seen like an artist like when they're doing like a painting, they'll cast like on the canvas or whatever? That's how he was with a pencil. He's like standing there. He's like, all right, I'm gonna map this out with a pencil first, and he goes. I'm ready with my lip.
I had to sketch it out first because I knew if I didn't, I would royally mess up the because I can't write in big letters and get it, and get it perfectly to shape perfectly on a big poster and stuff.
It's that thing you start off really, really huge, expect
because it's permanent marker.
It's the difference between artist eye.
You have to curly cue the Y. But,
my eye.
But it was really funny because like some of the signs garnered attention of some of the the hand cameras around. So I guarantee, at the very least, Jocelyn's kids are going to be on TV this Thursday.
Nice.
Because they were right ringside. They were like John with some of the wrestlers, kind of like talking smack.
Oh, cool.
And the chants, dude. That's the most fun thing. It doesn't matter if you're like in the nosebleeds at a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Just getting to chant with everybody else is a blast.
Part of the party, so to speak.
Or even better, like come up with new chants. A bunch of people were chanting to this one guy, "You look stupid." And the guy behind me was like, "Where's your neck?" And it was great. It was just a good time.
Well, good. I'm glad y'all had fun. Sounds like a good time was had by all.
Indeed.
Yes, good time was had by all. One thing I did kind of expect to happen that didn't was usually you see backstage segments on TV and stuff.
Right.
And then you hear like crowds reacting to it sometimes. So I thought they were going to show us those backstage segments, but no, it was just match after match after match.
Okay, so you don't really see any storylines on the Jumbotron?
Yeah, I figure what's going to happen is what we saw on, we'll show on the next 2 Thursdays, but then interspersed with that will be some backstage stuff that they'll either film there or we'll film later.
Film some other pieces to set it up and all that. Yeah, I was kind of curious if you didn't see, like like, do you see like the behind the scenes? Like, do they TV? All right, this is for the TV crowd. We need to get loud.
Well, what's funny is so they had their ring announcer,
applesauce sign.
They had their ring announcer come out and kind of hype the crowd up.
Yeah.
Throw some T-shirts and stuff. And at one point she goes, "All right, this is for TV, so I need." And she instructed
and you
us
think
all
of the
to-
worst wrestler.
think of the best wrestler, so we could all big pop, and then think of the worst wrestler. Which, by the way, who'd you think of? And they said, think of the worst wrestler in the world.
I couldn't think of anybody at that moment.
I just said, "Screw you, John Cena."
I knew because I already knew who she was talking about.
Yeah.
So like,
everyone's like, "What? You start yelling at this random name. What? No, I meant his brother.
Oh, we were talking smack about some wrestlers' moms. It was a great time. So I told one wrestler that his mom makes stupid babies.
But do they retort like if you...
Sometimes. So Jocelyn's son Jake had a sign that said like one of the wrestlers' names, like Theodore such and such Nemeth sucks eggs.
Uh-huh.
And at one point Ryan Nemeth comes over and sees the sign. He goes, "You suck eggs."
No, you do.
So
I know you are, but what am I?
And then, of course, they do the meet and greets afterwards. There's some fantastic pictures out there of our crew with the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Did the autographs. They put one of our.
I was saying, did you get any photos of you in a chokehold or Phil Nelson or something?
I didn't personally do meet and greet, but the ones who did, there was Will from GDP. There's a picture of him getting put in a headlock by Matt Hardy.
Nice.
And then at one point, they both the Hardy
They're
boys.
about the same height, right?
About that, yeah.
Will's pretty tall.
At one point, both the Hardys put their tag belts on his shoulders and then took a picture like that. So he's actually holding both tag straps in one picture.
That'll be the next GDP cover.
There you go.
The album cover.
The venue was nice though.
Yeah,
it was the Chaves County. The El Paso County Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was like you can tell how old the building was.
Oh yeah,
it was like
they used to play the hockey games in there too.
Right? It was an old concert
Buzzards,
center. They even advertising like Johnny Cash played here and stuff, and
it is one of those
Flintstone played here.
It is one of those like apropos wrestling venues. I'll see you at the El Paso County Coliseum.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. If I remember right, the dump. Old dump, if I remember. It's renovated since I've been in it.
It's kind of like a rodeo looking place.
Yeah.
It's real like if you've ever been to the Lee County Event Center, it's very similar in setup to that.
Okay. I have been in that. That
One
seems
guy,
nicer.
One guy actually did come out on a horse too. Not the night we were there, but the night before, because I saw it on pay per view. And yeah, he actually came out like on a horse, like
pooped in the ring.
I'll tell you what though, this they make money hand over fist. I decided at one point, I'm like, I might enjoy an adult beverage. So I wandered over to the concession to grab a beer. $16.
Oh yeah.
For a beer.
Welcome to sporting event food.
Next time I'm bringing my own.
Yeah. No. I went to a Cowboys game, and this was like 5, 6, and this was before COVID and all the nonsense. I remember getting a marginally chicken sandwich that was probably maybe slightly better than a McDonald's chicken sandwich. Like $20.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. But yeah,
I should have opted for a $5 water, honestly.
Yeah. That's right.
But yeah, no, it was a blast.
Are they making flasks? All right, we should get going. Our guests are waiting patiently in the other room here. We do have a full slate for you today. We're going to start off here in just a few minutes. We're going to have Juliana Halverson join us, of course, city councilor, city councilor.
She's got an exciting story to tell.
Yeah.
Have you been on Facebook yet today?
I guess not.
Oh.
No.
Just brace yourselves.
All right. Well, I know we are going to talk because we also got the folks from Roswell Animal Services as well. I believe Chantel and Shaylin will be with us. I'm not sure who's there.
There's voices.
But they'll be joining us. Big thing we're talking about is City Council passed a pet ordinance back in December about chaining up animals, things like that. And a lot of that's going to officially take effect here in April, which means your grace period to get these things corrected is running out of time. So we'll talk about all that with Juliana and the folks from the Animal Services. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had, Keeping Into the City. We had Deputy Fire Chief Derek Wasicek join us last week from
the fire department.
From sanitation. He's from the fire department.
From Petco.
And he really talks about safety, talks really about keeping right.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a big issue with emergency vehicles, fire trucks, police vehicles, fire, rescue, et cetera, et cetera. Especially Main Street and just telling people they're going to go left. That means you go right.
Yep.
Every time you see the lights and sirens in your rearview mirrors, go right. They're going to go left. So, but anyway, we had a great conversation with Derek. We'll play that for you in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have Josh McDonald join us with the Rocky Mountain Elks Foundation. They're having their big fundraising banquet on April the 10th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Great organization that hunting, conservation, things like that. So we'll talk with Josh here in the 9 o'clock hour about that.
Very good.
And then, of course, we'll have all of your newses of the local national variety business updates. And, of course, it is Monday, Smiley Booton's livestock report here in just a few minutes as well, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
Yes, indeed.
But first, the weather, which, guess what? More fire weathers, high winds, and red flags and all that good stuff. But it's going to be like 80 today, so enjoy that. We'll be back after weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid and upper 80s, but that gusty wind will be hanging around for a while, up to 30 miles an hour today. For the overnight hours, cloudy and breezy. We're in the upper 40s. Really windy on Tuesday, sunshine, blowing dust. Our afternoon high in the upper 70s. We could get a few gusts at 50 to 55 miles an hour tomorrow. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 41%. Winds are out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Today we have a red flag warning that's going to kick in at noon. That will remain in effect through 9 p.m. Mostly sunny today and a high of 85. That's the good news. Southwest winds early 5 to 10. Later today 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Tonight partly cloudy. Overnight low of 45 degrees. South winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight. For you Tuesday, we have a fire weather watch that's going to kick in at 11. That's going to remain in effect through midnight. High wind warning that will kick in at 10, remaining in effect through 11 p.m. Expect widespread blowing dust tomorrow, mainly after 2 p.m. Sunny and 78 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 15 to 25 early, increasing out of the west, 35 to 45, gusting as high as 60 miles per hour tomorrow as well. So another one of those days. Tomorrow night, widespread blowing dust before 7 p.m., mostly clear. Overnight low of 40. Winds will be out of the northwest, 35 to 40, gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. Expect winds to decrease down 25 to 30 after midnight. Wednesday, sunny, mid-60s, 64 for a high. Winds will be out of the north, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Thursday, looks like sunny and breezy with a high of 70. Friday, sunny and 77, and then sunny and 78 for Saturday. Mostly sunny, 79 on Sunday. They aren't talking about winds yet, so but I bet it'll be a little bit of that. All right, 7:21. We're going to take a 4-minute break. And then on the other side, we'll have Juliana Halverson and the folks from Roswell Animal Services joining us, talking about the new pet ordinance that are kicking in here real soon. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good windy March run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings with condition. We expect to sell 1,050 head. Break it down like this: 100, 125 weight cows and bulls, 100, 125 pairs of bred cows, 850, 900 calves and yearlings today sale. Will include 10 to 15 cow-calf pairs, mostly black, white face, red, white face English crosses with black calves. Pairs 6 to 10 years old, 23 bred cows, Mr. George Jackson, Lordsburg, New Mexico. Extra quality black, white face Angus cross cows, bred to high quality Angus bulls. Cows 2 to 7 years old, real nice set of gentle bred cows. 25 bred heifers and young cows, Corralitos Ranch, Fair Acres, New Mexico, out west of Las Cruces. Good quality black Brangus heifers, bred to Brangus bulls, thin condition, 600, 700 pounds. Also 55 young open cows and heifers off the same ranch, thin condition, cows 2 to 4 years old. 87 calves, Mr. David Gable, Rome Mesa, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face, red, and Charolais crossbred calves. 1 round of shots, thin to medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. 48 calves, Circle Bar Partnership, Balmorhea, Texas. Excellent quality black, white face, Angus crosses. Shots at Brandon, 300, 450 pounds. 142 calves, Gents Cattle Company here west of Roswell. Excellent quality, 80% black, white face, Angus crosses. Cattle weaned 30 days. 2 rounds of shots, bunk broke, 375, 550 pounds. 22 calves, Mr. Cecil Conklin, Lake Arthur, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus calves, shots at Brandon, 300, 425 pounds. 27 calves, Mr. George Jackson at Lordsburg. Excellent quality black, white face, Angus cross calves, Bow Shield Gold 7-way, 250, 400 pounds. 23 calves of McCaslin Ranch, Eunice, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face, Brangus crosses, cattle weaned 60 days, 2 rounds of shots, 450, 600 pounds. At 34 calves, Mr. J.B. Runyon, Hope, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus and Brangus crosses, 1 round of shots, medium condition, 450, 600 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sale pairs of bred cows, 9:30. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10:15. Very short on weigh cows and bulls this morning. We'll be on bred cows and calves and yearlings pretty quick. We expect to sell 1,050 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then, Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Logitech.
Hey you, Seth Pena at Richland Auto. It's March Madness at Richland Dodge, and we're not talking about basketball, but amazing deals on vehicles. It's game on for a used car sale at Richland on Southeast Main. Score big on a wide selection of high-quality used cars at unbeatable prices. With over 100 vehicles to choose from, all with mad savings and special financing options. So take advantage of our madness. At the Richland Dodge used car sale, get a slam dunk deal on your dream car. It's only at Richland Dodge, March 13th through the 15th at 1309 Southeast Main Street.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the spring open house for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:26, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, we do have City Councilor representing Ward 2, Juliana Halverson.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Great.
Got your green boat. That's almost Dr. Seuss-esque.
Well,
I feel like
have
you need
a whole
hat.
outfit, but
Okay.
I didn't want to wear the whole thing. I just wore the
that
green
needs a
bow
top
tie.
hat.
Yeah. I had a hat, but I'm like, I'm not going to wear the hat today. It'll blow away today.
That's true. Yeah, you got to get a chin strap today here. But also joining us in studio this morning is Chantel Moreau. Did I get that right?
Mayro.
Oh, she just
Just think of May.
Of course, she's an Animal Services Director here and also the Kennel Director, is that, or Kennel Coordinator, I think is the official title as well. Shayla McKelvey as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us in this morning. Bright in unison and everything.
And I'm on vacation.
That's true.
Wake up early.
Well, you know what? Well, for you guys, you come in here, it's like, it's quiet. I know Animal Services, nothing quiet about that building.
Not the back half where my office is.
So you're just like, shh, hear that? What's that? Nothing. Love it. But as folks know, this is something that, we as a city, we as a community have been talking about years, that Roswell, New Mexico has got a major pet overpopulation issue to the point where we're spreading it to other parts of the state and everything else here. And so city council and we're really trying to crack down on responsible pet ownership here. They started, a couple years ago, they enacted the ordinance.
Well, we're not cracking down on responsible. We're cracking down on irresponsible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're trying to encourage people to be responsible pet owners.
Exactly.
That's the term.
Yeah.
But of course, over the years here, we've added some, over the last several years, we've added the chipping ordinance and some of these other things to, to get pets back to their owners and things like that. Well, City Council here back in December also, I guess, passed a new pet ordinance that's kind of dealing with some of how you house your pets and things like that. Things that were previously allowed in the city of Roswell are no longer going to be allowed in the city of Roswell, like chaining up your dog in the backyard. And we've had a grace period for this first quarter of the year. But here, I guess, is April 1 when it all takes over? What's the official date that?
April 11th, I
11th.
believe.
So we got about 2 and a half weeks
Mid-April,
left.
yeah.
So, but we're trying to remind people now, look, come April 11th here, code enforcement, they will be looking. They're going to be going to neighborhoods. They're going to be making sure you're in compliance. And if you're not, then they're going to start the process.
Animal control.
Yeah. And what did I say?
Code enforcement.
Sorry.
They help.
They'll be they'll be out there too.
Sorry.
Yeah.
City folks will be guys in Roswell pickups and stuff will be going around town and making sure that your pets aren't chained up and they're not being left out and all the.
They have proper shelter.
There's proper shelter. There's proper access to water. All the things that living
Basic
things need
care.
to live.
Well, they see it every day, these ladies, and it's amazing how many. And Abby has too. She's a good resource, but
sure.
I don't know. You guys know the amount of animals that people just don't take proper care of. It's devastating.
It is sad what what you guys see on a daily
day.
basis. Yeah. And I know you guys have the most thankless job in all of Roswell, and I understand that because all you're doing is trying to rescue and save and allow as many pets to get to homes and live happy lives as possible. Unfortunately, because of the nature of the work, most people aren't, they're dumping animals here, letting them, all the things that happen, people, let's get Sparky a dog for birthday, and Sparky don't take care of the dog, and I know I can name the kid the same as the dog name, but y'all just work with me here. You know what I mean? Like that, or like, grandma needs a kitten. Well, grandma can't take care of a kitten. And so the kitten goes out. Now we have feral cats, and we've had these things, and so we need to be. The city can enact all the ordinances in the world. We can have 37 animal services and 57 humane societies and all this other stuff. If people don't be responsible pet owners, all of this goes out the window. If you're not chipping your pets, if you're not getting them vaccinated, we're going to shift into talking about, distemper and parvo and some of these things that are particularly dogs on some of these, but afflict animals. And
that are preventable.
Yes, they're easily preventable. And unfortunately, we live in a climate that's the desert. And, things that are supposed to die when it gets cold don't die here. Things that are supposed to die when it gets hot don't. So these things that were typically other parts of the country have a season for it, we don't, because it doesn't go dormant. Or just for a minute, or it mutates. The distemper and some of the things you're seeing now is probably not the same strains that we were seeing a couple years ago and stuff. So I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm just trying to get people perspective what you guys are dealing with right
you're
now.
fine.
Yeah, this is stuff that this isn't about we want to make sure you're giving we're not trying to micromanage people on. It's just saying, look, owning a pet's like owning a child, and if you're not willing to put in that time and energy and amount of dedication to it, then maybe you shouldn't adopt a pet. That's all we're saying.
And whenever people come to adopt a pet from us, it's the microchip, rabies vaccination, spay and neuter.
Yeah.
And it's the normal stuff that you would need for the just basic care of your animal.
This is stuff you should be doing anyway.
Exactly.
You shouldn't need an ordinance to tell you to do it. It's just you have a baby, you're going to take the baby to the doctor and do baby, same thing.
Yeah, and if we pick up your animal, all you have to do is just pay the $40 reclaim fee because your animal has all the basic care it already needed.
Exactly.
So.
And this is kind of now, obviously, the rules, because I know for folks that don't know, you should go if you don't know. On East McGaffey, Animal Services and the Humane Society are right next to each other. Both places are rescue shelters. If you, I always tell people.
Well, we're not a shelter.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A place where animals can be adopted. Maybe
yes. Yeah.
But you can go to either one of these places and you're rescuing a pet. So I always tell people, walk into Animal Services. If there's no animals that gravitate to you, walk right next door to the Humane Society or vice versa, whichever one you started in, go hit them both, because either way, you guys are finding a home for a pet, rescuing a pet. And I'm telling you right now, obviously you guys are limited on what you can do, and, government services at some point, if it's too crowded, you guys are forced to euthanize and stuff. Obviously, Humane Society and some of they don't do that. They're nonprofit. But what happens a lot of times is if you open up cages over there because you adopt pets, they'll come visit you guys and, who's on the short list? Let's adopt them over here. Mm-hmm. And so you guys partner and work well because everybody in your building wants to make sure these pets have homes too. That's the part we need to all understand.
Right.
We're all on the same page here. I'm telling you, you ladies have not got into animal services because you hate animals. And I think people think that.
No,
you know what I mean?
They think that.
It's like, no, I love it. When I get home, I'm rolling around on the floor with my dog. We do this because it's so sad that what, it's abuse. What you guys see on a daily basis is abuse. And if it was kids, there would be people in jail left and right. That's what we're saying here is it's time to treat your pets as a part of your family. If you're not willing to do that, maybe you should find another alternative to seek that, whatever you're trying to get there. You know what I mean? And with these new ordinance changes, we're going to enforce this. We're going to make people take care of these pets. Either you take care of them or you don't have them. We're not going to let you to continue to let's face it, put these pets in torture situations because, and I'm going to get a little mean here, what if I put a collar on your neck, put you in minimal clothing, and change you to the backyard and said, hang out here tonight, see how you do?
Yeah.
Pretty sure you're not going to like it.
Well, not only that, these ladies see it, and Chantel maybe will go, or Shaylin may go in more detail, but they call people, say, we have your dog, but it's not fixed, so they know they're going to get fined for that, or they have to get it fixed.
So they're like, I'm cutting and running, and
Yeah.
then just leave the dog because they're afraid they're going to get hit with more fines and all of this.
Well, they just don't want to get their dog fixed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and here's the point. If you're having money issues and all that, they'll work with you on stuff. They'll talk to you. It's like, they'll put you in touch with people to get vouchers and things. There's a lot of resources. If money's the problem, there's issue. If your intent is to be a loving parent for these pets, we're going to help you do that. Anything but that, then no, we'll take the pet back and here's a robotic puppy or something online you can play with.
And that's if the 98% of the animals that we have in the facility never come back to an owner. So that's
It's
if we're
really
able
a small
to get owner
percentage.
information.
No, it's a large, 98% don't go
Oh,
back.
don't come. But I'm saying
yeah.
it's a small percentage of people that are doing the wrong thing. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
Most of us do well, but the small enough percentage make a big enough impact that it creates a problem.
Yes.
And that's what we're dealing with. I get it. Most people, I get it. I've seen your stickers on your cars. I've seen y'all people pretty much treat your animals like kids, and that's awesome. Nothing wrong with that. We're talking to the folks that I get it, and I get it too. This is country life, and there's certain mindsets and people, and what cats do and what dogs do. They work on farms and ranches, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you live in the city and ain't working on a farm and ranch, you can't teach your animal like a farm and ranch.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works.
Well, and without the microchipping, Chantel or Shaylene maybe will tell you more about, but their goal isn't to bring your dog into the facility. They want to get it back home.
It's to get it back to you when it comes to the facility or turns up someplace.
The officers scan them in the field. So before they even hit the facility.
Yeah, and this is what I always tell. Obviously, you have to get your pet ordinance. And this is, and even if you live in the county, if you adopt a pet from a city-owned facility or a facility within the city limits, you are bound by city ordinance. So you will have to get your pet chipped and everything, even if you don't live in the city. Yeah. If you're adopting it from Animal Services or for that matter, a Humane Society, you will be getting that chip. That's it.
Register the microchip.
Yeah, and it's real easy because what they'll do is you just when you there's Fluffy. That's our future.
Especially with the wind, it's knocking fences down left and right.
Yeah, and so they'll take them right. You say, okay, all right, Fluffy needs to be spayed or neutered and needs to be chipped. We'll send her right to the vet of your choosing. Which vet do you want to have that done at? And you can pick your vet. And if you don't have one, ask. They'll recommend a vet and take you to the vet. And then you go pick your pet up there after it's had its surgery and gotten everything. And to be honest, this is something, and I don't care where you adopt a pet from. If you adopt a pet, first thing you should do is have it checked out. Take it to I know, obviously, you guys and Animal Humane Society, you guys do everything to take care of pets. But you got to know history. Take your pet in. That maybe they can tell you that your vet will tell you, okay, yeah, it's a puppy, but I think it's a little bit more older than what they thought it was because these are shelters. We don't have. Guess what? Strays don't come with papers.
Yes.
They don't come with an info sheet saying they're 4 years old and his name is Fluffy. And
and I picked up those strays at the bank the other day, and when the lady came to pick them up, I go, "Your dogs aren't fixed. They're not microchipped." Well, they're in my yard. I'm like, well, obviously they're not.
Until they're not.
It doesn't matter if they're in your yard or not. That's still even if they're in your house all the time, it's still required.
Absolutely. And here's I would even go. Obviously, you get your pet chipped because that's the ordinance. I would still go
register the microchip. That's the big problem.
Yeah, and then update it as you move, as you go. Update. It takes 5 minutes to do. That way, it's accurate information if your pet gets. But I would also go old school with the collar and the go to Petco or whatever and get the tag with your license, with your phone number or address or whatever, because your neighbors probably don't have a scanner.
And when they adopt from us or reclaim, we have a machine that makes that for them too for free.
So that way you got a physical. Yeah. So if your neighbors don't, Bobby got a new cat. See, it's Fluffy. Call Bob. Go pick up cat. Yeah, So I would do both here, and even if your cat's an indoor, because that's how it's supposed to be. Now, when we adopt cats, those aren't supposed to be hanging out in the alleys and stuff. You're supposed to keep them indoors and keep them as indoor cats, and just because they're indoor cats doesn't mean you need to slip on the shots, the rabies, the vaccinations, because guess what? You track things into your house, and sometimes even though your cat doesn't come across other animals, you walk into places or walk into things, and then you come in and then you walk into your house. And I know your house isn't dirty, and most of us, but you can easily track in things that your cat can get sick off of just because I'm sure you ladies have to decontaminate when you get home just to keep your pets, personal pets, from coming across some of the things that you guys are exposed to in the shelter here. So that's kind of what we're talking. This is kind of the thing we're talking about, and this is kind of where I want to touch a little bit about. You guys are having. I say you guys. Everybody in New Mexico is having a real problem with distemper. Right now it's distemper, right? I get the parvos and all that. To me, it's all bad. If I hear any of them, like, none of it's good. You got to do a lot to do it. But right now it's distemper that we're dealing with. And so now are you guys kind of holding off on allowing new animals to come in right now, or is that all good? Because I know that there is rules that come in place when you're dealing with some of this.
Our officers are on priority call only right now. So that's, sick, injured, aggressive.
Animals that are a threat or a problem or something needs to be done immediately to help or remove them from a situation.
We have a different facility that the new intakes go to, and they're spread apart, not near each other.
Quarantined out, doing all the things you got to do.
And then nothing new is coming into Roswell Animal Services.
Okay. And I know folks similarly, the Humane Society next door was dealing with some of that stuff weeks before. I think they're back to letting folks in.
Yeah, they were only shut down for 15 days.
Gotcha. Which and it's one of those deals. If I remember, she was talking. How it works is when they get like one case, that puts 2 weeks on the clock, and then if no new cases come up, then we're good. But if another case pops up, that resets that 2 week clock. So I'm guessing
that would be the same for us.
So they kind of got lucky, and it only went 2 weeks.
Well, because what I've learned from the vets is it takes 10 days to show symptoms, but apparently this version of distemper that's going around is taking 15 to 20 days.
And this is something that I know we've talked with Crystal and you guys are dealing with. This is because we live where we live, the desert and everything else, distemper doesn't have it's pretty much 24/7. Like, and what I mean, 12 months a year. It's not like, generally speaking, weather, climates, and things, it'll make it where distemper's gone dormant, and it's not. But because our weather is relatively mild, we don't have we have extreme winds, but we don't get Arctic. We don't get, you know what I mean? We don't, and so there's really no enemy to the distemper.
The winds probably make it worse because it's airborne.
Yeah, there's nothing to curtail it as far as the weather-wise here. So that means it's constantly going, it's constantly active, which means pets are getting exposed easily. And, that's why you've got to get your vet, take your pets to the vets, get them shots, get everything up to date. Even if your cat does not see the outdoors, bring it to the vet to make sure it's updated on those shots. Make sure they're chipped, even if they never leave the house, because one time they will. That's the whole point.
The problem these ladies deal with is when they pick up an animal, they don't know if it's infected. And you guys want to talk about your procedures when people...
Yeah, you guys are flying blind. You just see an animal and you don't know, it could be the healthiest thing. It could be...
Well, we get animals from over the counter. People bring them in. We get them from county, and we get them from the city. So all over Roswell.
And you guys really have to take them.
Yes,
because you're the last line of defense. So there's no one else to pass the buck to, so to speak.
We don't get to look at the public and be like, no, we're not going to take these animals. We have to take these animals. We are not a shelter. We are public safety.
I keep saying that.
I still catch myself.
That's okay. But we are public safety. And if you run across a dog on the street, you don't know if you're going to get bit. When we're not shut down, our officers have to pick them up, and we don't know where these dogs are coming from. But we do our best to quarantine the dogs in our quarantine area.
Vaccinate.
Vaccinate upon intake.
Oh yeah, they get
Bordetella, distemper.
They get the full workups when they do come into animal
Except
services.
for rabies, they can't do the rabies.
Yeah.
But as soon as you go adopt the pet to your vet, guess what they're getting? That rabies shot, right? As soon as they get chipped and everything else, the rabies will be. And if they're getting spayed or neutered, that'll also probably take place at that time.
Yeah. We have 11 kennels in our quarantine area, and since we are a city facility, we fill up fast because people are not watching their animals. So we try to quarantine as long as we're able to.
And this is why we, the public, have to be the active. Animal services can't do it on their own. All the volunteer groups we have put together can't do it on their own. It takes we, the public, be responsible pet owners. When you see someone at Walmart parking lot selling puppies in the back of the car, call law enforcement. Not only is that illegal, it's a safety issue. It is a health and safety issue. If you want to adopt a pet but not fully committed, if you're not willing to raise it like a child, then maybe you should not raise a pet. I'm telling you right now, everything, and even in today's world, that's why pet health insurance is a thing now, because it literally is just like your kids. You take them and they're going to get all their shots, and as life happens and as their lives change, you're going to have to do different healthcare things to them. Bigger dogs generally have hip issues. You're going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. Little dogs, they got all kinds of, especially if you're dealing with purebred dogs with pushed-in noses and stuff, they generally are not as healthier pets than some of your mutts. If you're put it this way, if you're looking to make a pet part of your home, like a family and all that, highly recommend it. Come on down to Animal Services, but don't get hung up on I want the full standard poodle because it's I'm telling you, the muddier the dog, the cooler, smarter that dog is. The more mutt it is, usually the cooler the dog it is. I'm just saying.
But we want to stress too, because the problem they're having too, and everyone isn't. They're not breeding. They're just not getting their dogs fixed. So they're having accidental litters like crazy.
And we can't. And everyone thinks that it's a money machine.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a purebred whatever. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to do a litter and sell it. I'm going to sell them for $1,200 or whatever fantasy they get in their head, and that never happens.
Or they expect us to take them in and
right, like they've got some valuable commodity, and I'm like, you're not.
The amount of litters of puppies we get.
Yeah.
People think it's a money grab.
That they found.
Yeah.
But they just don't take care of their animals, and they just don't want the puppies. And
and that's the other thing.
They're
They're just too lazy to go take their vet fix, and then guess what? Dog or cat goes into heat, and you all know what happens when that happens. We've all seen it at one point when all the neighborhood animals are hanging out in your yard.
And you know, sometimes it's not that they're lazy; it's that they're not financially able to get their animal fixed. Which, if you're not financially able to get your animal some basic vet care, don't get an animal.
This is something, you've got to weigh that decision. It is, like I said, it's like raising a child. Okay, maybe you're not sending you to college at the end, but the amount of time and energy and money, and if you're doing it right, you're treating it like a member of the family, and you're going to spend thousands of dollars on that animal at the end of the day.
And like the Colorado Animal Welfare League, they come in and they do, I don't know what they charge hardly anything. Shauna Emmert runs it here in town, and
they're wonderful.
You could call them.
Yeah, be on the list.
They give them shots. They give them the rabies too because they have a vet. Yeah.
Be on the listen, because I know every time that there's like one of these spay or neuter clinics that pop up or something like that, we'll try to get the word out and take advantage of those. And I know.
And they have scholarships too. I mean, yeah.
And I know, like sometimes the Humane Society will do it. I think you guys do it too, where they do these. There's vouchers that come up for spay and neuter. Now they won't give you free ones, but they could knock a couple $100-$200 off the cost.
We have that program. We're reapplying for a grant that actually funded it. But if people want to donate to that,
the more the merrier, because the only way we're fixing this, folks, is we the people be good pet owners. We can enact all these ordinances. We can have animal services come rolling through every single street every night of the day. It's not going to fix the problem.
Because we partner. How many vets do you have on that spay neuter program? The low cost.
All of them now.
Oh, so all the vets in town are working with
everyone's
animals.
on
because they have
here.
the same goal. They want to stop the.
Well, they all see it. Every person that deals with animals in some way, shape, or form in Roswell or Chaves County knows exactly what we're talking about. And trust me, this distemper thing is serious. Treat it serious. If you do not, and if you're a pet owner right now and your pets aren't vaccinated up to date, you need to be calling your vet right now. Get an appointment to get them up to date on this stuff. If your pet's not microchipped or any of that stuff, please. They will be checking. And I'm telling you here, if your animal's chained up, that's something we haven't really said. Maybe Juliana, let's talk. What are the actual new changes to the ordinance? I know chaining up is one, but what are some of the
things? So it's tethering. We increased the fines for a lot of the items that because I don't want to make people suffer, but I want people to realize that it's cheaper to get your dog fixed than it is to pay the fine for not having it fixed.
You don't want people to suffer, but you want to make it a priority in their life to get this.
And
done.
we did add before it was just the rabies vaccine that was required. Now it's requiring the rabies, distemper, and for the cats, the feline leukemia.
Because these are issues. They aren't just making this up because it's fun to do. It's because animals are dying and they're spreading because these outbreaks of distemper and
and they're dying just because they're having litters of puppies, and there's just so many,
And to be honest, folks, having your pet spayed or neutered is a healthy option for your pet. A lot of the cancers that cats get and some of these animals deal with all go away once they're spayed or neutered.
Well, and if you're having behavioral issues, fixes that.
Yeah, exactly. If you're the marking of the territories, I'm not saying it gets rid of it altogether, but it definitely puts some of the anger out of the attitude a little bit and kind of gives them I guess whatever pent up anger or whatever's going on there, it dissipates.
That's it. And it's frustrating that a lot of people just don't care.
Yeah, that's the
these ladies and everyone, the staff over there, doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
We've walked through there with the state vet. We walked through there with several vets, and they're just the change since Chantel's been there. It's cleaner. It's just so much better now.
It is something, and this is a community effort. We all got to get. I mean, I know everyone.
Yeah, I think they're happy for volunteers.
Yeah, people. If you know what? If you're not happy, well, we need to roll up your sleeves and come on down. Animal Services would love to have volunteers. You know what? If they ain't got enough, walk next door. I'm sure they'd love to have some help over there.
The volunteer applications are right up front.
Absolutely, and I'm sure any young folks maybe have aspirations as veterinary medicine or ranchers, for that matter. Might learn a thing or two by hanging out with Animal Services.
Well, like you mentioned, their job is thankless, but everyone there, they've done amazing. They care about the animals. They actually take care of them.
These are pet lovers. These are pet people. These are folks that that I'm going to take a stab that you spend your day just angry and upset because you walk into a situation or hear about a situation almost a daily basis. I'm going to take a stab that you're just like, what is wrong with people? Like, how can you, and what in your brain thinks this is okay? You know what I mean? And that's the sad part of this. And I understand people look at animals differently. I get some of us are a little over the top. I get it. I'm that one of those people. I'm the guy that walks in the room and I don't care if your dogs are working or not. I'm going to roll around the floor with them.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
we build bonds with the animals that come into our facility.
You absolutely do.
Want to take some?
I'm sure your family has told you no so many times.
My
and you wanted to take
poor
it.
husband.
They just got you come in the door and it's, no. But this cat, no.
And Sarah with the city marketing department, she's done a great job with, billboards and stuff telling people what to do. And then they do a great job posting animals. Say, hey, is this your dog? It's not, you don't have to go on 24 Pet Connect all the time. They post like, oh, this dog was just picked up. If it's yours, come get it now.
Stay plugged into that stuff. Because they have
a Facebook page that they update.
Yeah, and they constantly update. And that's, and to be honest, it's the best way to, because if Animal Services comes across your pet, they will do everything within their power to let people know, hey, it's right here.
Yeah.
Come tell your friends, tell your family,
Come get your
pet. Your pet's looking for you.
Yeah. Chantel goes above and beyond when she sees a dog that she's like, no, this animal has an owner. She'll do her best to try and get that dog back to the owner.
Well, and this is the kind of point I'm saying is you guys have regulations and, requirements that you have to meet. And I'm sure they're very black and white. But as animal lovers yourselves, you try to take care of all the gray before it gets to the black and white. Because at the end of the day, the priority here is these pets. And we would love it to the point where you walk into Animal Services or the Humane Society and say, we only got like 2 dogs. Everyone's adopting them and they're doing their thing. That would be an awesome problem to have, where we're like soliciting. Hey, you sure you don't know? I don't think that will ever happen, but that's what we're trying to do. At this point, we cannot. You could build literally a animal shelter the size of like Sing Sing prison, and we would fill it right now. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it's not build more. It's we've got to fix the problem. We can't just keep adding more cages. That's not going to fix the problem.
No, and you're absolutely right. Everybody here, there's like 3 sections, and everybody likes to put the blame on that other section.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop putting the blame everywhere else except for on the city of Roswell.
We
are
the
a
public.
city that needs to come together and try to hit this issue head on.
Yep. And every time that you adopt a pet and don't, and then I get it. Some things don't work out. Sometimes it happens. Life happens. It's what you do about it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to get that pet? You make it. You can't just turn it loose. You can't just forget about it. You can't do the old school cartoon where you take them on a picnic in the country and they come. You can't do any of that.
I want to add that we do foster to adopt. We allow them to foster it for a week to see if it's
a test run.
Yeah, see if it's a fit for them.
Sure.
If not, you can bring it back. If it is, then adopt it.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Humane Society is a little more stringent on rules on, what they can adopt. And so that's why I always say if you don't find. Now, that being said, if, and I get it too. Sometimes, all right, my fence isn't good enough. That means I'm a bad pet owner. No problem. Come on down. We're going to, we get that. We're not as stringent here. But at the end of the day, we expect the same attitude on the pet ownership here. This pet will be a part of your family. You will treat it like a kid. And it will be a part. If you're having a pet just to put it out in the backyard for protection, then we don't need that. If you want protection, get an alarm.
Well, Elizabeth with the city, she's changing departments now, but she wrote a grant again to the same one that gave us the low cost spay neuter money.
Mm-hmm.
She's adding in like kennels for people that can't build a fence, but they can't tether their dogs, so they'll get a dog kennel that's big enough for the dogs to. We're still working on that, but.
And I know too, we're starting to not be a problem right now, but when it was colder and stuff, there's a lot of people offering free straw and things to put into these shelters for folks that can't, if they have dog houses that can't be indoors or things like that. at least put a bunch of straw in there because that provides a lot of insulation and warmth for these.
That's where Abby's great. She sees she tries really hard to get these dogs taken care of.
Yeah, we get it. Not everybody can do the most efficient thing because life. I get that, But wait a minute, I'm not eating steak. I'm not getting the dog steak. I get that.
But you get people too. They deal with the hoarding situations where these people they don't have the money to care for these animals. And they just keep letting them breed, and then they have to deal with that because they'll go to one house. Oh, there's 20 dogs we have to pick up today.
Well, they think that's going to be their ticket out. Like some magic person's going to come in. Oh, you've got all these dogs. I will pay you $1 million for them. I'm like, okay. No one wants it either, And so please, if you see that kind of stuff, report it. If you yourself are not in compliance with this ordinance, you got about 2 weeks to get her done.
That's just the tethering part. The rest of it's being enforced.
Yeah, you know what I mean, to get in compliance here, because we will have folks start checking and making sure that, and if you're not, they're going to start the process. It'll start with fines, but the more you ignore, the more heavy-handed we get, basically. Kind of like weeds and all them other things. At first you get a letter, and then after a while you start getting people knocking on the door.
Well, and when it's windy like this, I don't know how they are, but I'm pretty sure that if there's a dog running at large, they'll try to scan it. That's why it's important you microchip, because they want to get your dog home. They don't want to take it to the facility where it's exposed to diseases and stuff because people aren't vaccinating their dogs.
And plus, when dogs are out, dogs are like people. When they're flustered, they're going to act erratically, just like you.
So when fireworks happen, when the wind blows, the dogs are going to get out.
They might be more aggressive, and I know.
Yeah.
That dog wouldn't hurt a fly, but if you put it in a corner and it's freaked out, it's going to lash out, just like you.
But if it's microchipped and the microchip's registered, they can take it home right away.
But this is also, we know, when they see the tag hanging there and the dog's freaked out, it's like, the dog's owned by somebody. It's just scared. Let's act accordingly.
Because my dogs have gotten out and they had tags, so people call me right away.
Yeah, and the tags are a good way for the public just to get these dogs home as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So please, Wes, you are required to get your your pet chipped, but as an added layer, I go old school as well too. Just put the collar with Scrappy's name and maybe your cell phone number. That's plenty enough. You don't have to put addresses and all that, but at least a phone number, a way to contact you very easily. And then of course update it. You get a new phone, maybe update the number. Go back to Petco or wherever, or I think you can go down to Animal Control or Animal Services or whatever and get the tags made and go get it updated. So
I want to add to that vets do scan for microchips because a lot of times people don't
this hour
like to bring
from
them to our facility to get
townhall.com.
scanned or anything
all
like
vets
that.
pretty much have that technology.
235 suspected members of an
what is that?
ultra-violent Venezuelan gang
Can we
have
buy
been
that on
deported by the
Temu
Trump
yet?
administration.
Like the Temu
Maximum
chip
security
scanner,
prison
like
in
your
El
home
Salvador,
model.
despite a federal judge's order
you know what? I
against the
forgot
deportation.
we're at 8 o'clock. We already went over time here. So we better wrap this up while I turn that off here because people get mad we're cutting into news. If anybody has any questions about anything, don't hesitate to call City Hall. Don't hesitate to call Animal Services. They'd be happy to talk to you about this. Go online to roswell-nm.gov. You can kind of see under Animal Services, you can see what the new ordinance is all about, read up on it and everything else.
I just want a real quick ad. Don't just complain on Facebook. Step up and actually do something.
Absolutely. That's the thing. It's easy to take pot shots on Facebook. It's kind of fun sometimes. I get it. But you want to actually fix things, get out there and do it. So, come and help these ladies.
Yeah.
Did we get it all? Anything we missed you guys wanted to cover?
I just want to say what a great job they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm very proud.
And thank you. Yeah, I know it's thankless. I know people yell at you all day, and everyone's, I get it. People get passionate. You get the extremes. You get the extreme don't care about pets, and the people that care probably more than they should. And you get to deal with both of them. So I get it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juliana. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
It's 8:01. As you heard, I'm way over. Don't yell at me. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Statement accusing the broadcasters of peddling radical propaganda. Greg Clugston, Washington.
After falling sharply in January, retail sales recovered just a bit last month. They rose 0.2% in February, following a 1.2% decline the month before. And on Wall Street, stocks are higher. The Dow is up 182 points, NASDAQ ahead 28. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Greece making progress, climbing out of a very deep financial hole.
The nation received a rating upgrade by Moody's last week, the remaining major agency to remove junk status from Greece's government bonds. The original downgrade took place 15 years ago during a severe debt crisis. Greece's finance minister now hails the news, calling it, in his words, the country's return to European normality. Moody's cited public finances that have improved more quickly than expected, which was a key factor in its decision, saying it expects an improving trend, citing Greece's fiscal policies, which will steadily decrease its high debt burden. George Williams reporting.
The new Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has arrived in Paris, meeting with French President Macron. Carney is seeking support from one of Canada's oldest allies, as President Trump targets what he says are unfair Canadian trade practices, looking to level the trading field. News and analysis, townhall.com. There's a manhunt underway following the latest horrific crime to shock New York City.
A man is set on fire in Times Square and is recovering. Police are searching for a suspect. They say around 4 a.m. Sunday morning, officers saw the 45-year-old victim and put out the flames. He's in stable condition. Video and images from the scene show the victim walking shirtless, accompanied by firefighters after the flames were put out. Footage of the man being treated in an ambulance shows burns to his face, neck, chest, and arms. In December, a woman was killed when she was set on fire on the subway. A suspect was arrested a short time later. Julie Walker, New York.
Responding to U.S. airstrikes, the leader of the Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen vowing to step up attacks on American and Israeli targets in the Mideast. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Los Dos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy, oh so happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. Welcome to it. Go wear another green.
I got my green on.
Not seeing any green on you, Don.
I got my green.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like Mike's just looking for an excuse to show off his legs today.
Hey, everybody, look at my pants.
Yeah, look at my green pants,
Well,
everyone.
it's my green's not on camera,
Mhm.
so I have to put it on camera at least once
Just
an hour.
enjoy casual sweatpants wearing while you can, because eventually it gets to a point where it's like old man dog whistle, you know? It kind of signals that you're an old man. Walking around in sweatpants.
Crossed that bridge and moved on and had looked back.
No, you still got young man in sweatpants aura. All right, you're still giving young man in sweatpants.
Okay.
Own it.
I don't feel like young man in sweatpants. I feel like old man in sweatpants. I feel like old man who just doesn't care.
That's fair.
That's the real thing.
Mhm.
People are like, how did you wear those pants with that thing? I'm like, because that's what was in the closet. That's what I put on.
How do you not?
I mean, let's face it. I have a job. I have a lovely wife. I've been married
Who just
for
walked in the
25
room.
years.
Uh-huh.
I got nobody to impress.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And you're talking to a dead mic. To a dead mic, actually.
He's like, it will be about 5
Yeah.
minutes.
I do like the fact that Kim was under the assumption that as soon as she walked in the room, he was going to turn a mic on for her. No. He makes you earn it. He makes you earn it.
You know what? I don't control a lot of things in my life. This room is my one place. This room is I'm in the driver's seat. At least the illusion of.
Yes, sir. So Kim, spring break, how you liking it so far? You enjoying the time off? Already?
Your mic is on now.
Okay.
It is on now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am enjoying my time off.
Get to sleep in a little bit, kind of.
It's well deserved.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
I'm
Teachers
still recovering. I'm in recovery mode right
Teachers
now.
work the hardest job on the planet, and the other thing is, the last 2 weeks we've been having to do it on the surface of Mars. So it's, with just 50-mile-an-hour winds and dust everywhere.
I don't think today, but tomorrow might look like Mars again based on the weather.
And the kids' behavior when it's real windy like that, yeah. You can tell the difference.
It riles us all up.
Pets and kids they act weird in the weather.
Yeah, you can tell when it's a full moon or when the front's about.
And we
to
had
come.
one of those, didn't we?
We had a blood moon.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday was a blood
so-
moon.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I didn't see the blood portion of it. Like they said, it was only like bloody, so to speak, for like a portion of the evening.
Well, when I saw it, it was bloody as a Bloody Mary.
There you go.
When I saw it,
You saw it?
Yeah, it was on our way to our Saturday night party.
Why didn't you point it out? I wasn't paying attention.
Didn't think much of it. I was there. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll be honest. Most of the mornings last week when I was coming to work, it was hanging low off this side of the horizon, and it was a good size moon. No blood, but it was like harvested up.
It was kind of that the movie moon that I didn't think was real till it came out west. Like I never see the moon.
Looks
that
like you
back
just
east.
reach out and touch it.
I always thought that was some kind of cartoony hokum. And then I actually came out here. I was like, "Oh, moon is kind of big." Because back east, it's a little tiny thing up there.
It's true. It is true. The moon is bigger in the west. Is that really a thing? Like I assume that you guys get big moons too out east
I've
coast.
never seen them back east.
Huh?
No, not like here.
That's crazy.
No, you don't. I've never seen the moon like fill up a sky.
I wonder if
always
it's the
been
lack of light or that we have out here. I don't know.
Could be city lights.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't ask me. There's a reason I'm not in science and math and in radio because I'm not good at these.
That's right. Actually, that's why I dropped out of my degree in meteorology.
Like in areas that people say you're pretty smart on, wait till math and science get in there. Then you're like,
Right.
this guy's an idiot. Yes,
Right.
I am. I don't do well in these subjects.
The problem with math is it has exact answers. Like I like questions that don't really open-ended questions. You know,
I'm fine with math until they threw letters in it. And once they put letters in there, I'm like, I'm out.
I went to Rhiannon's parent-teacher conference and was blown away when I saw letters in her math. And I'm like, and I know it's grade level, but that she's actually dealing with X's and Y's in math, and I'm like, how are you who are you? What happened?
Wow, it's like pre-algebra a thing.
Yeah, I mean they're teaching it in sixth grade apparently.
Why is there pre of that and pre of nothing else? I never took a pre-chemistry or pre-English
Because you really wanted to make sure you were ready for algebra.
But I took pre-algebra.
Pre-gym.
Why is that?
They're called warm-ups, Mike. You should do them. Stretch.
Here's our pre-reading class. We just look at letters and think about them. We don't actually pronounce them or nothing.
Well, pre-reading Pre-reading is essentially just like preschool to elementary school. That's your reading prep.
But pre-algebra is the only thing that's pre a subject of anything else.
Because that's the one subject they realize, oh, you're not ready for this.
Well, why not pre-geometry? Or pre-calculus? Do they have pre-calculus?
Yes.
I never got that far in math. I don't even know what calculus is other than calculus. Like
they want to make sure there's
calculators. I have no idea.
And then they have algebra 2.
I remember. I never got that far, but I remember
beyond.
it existing.
I
go beyond.
I'm just never been a fan of a sequel.
But I can get algebra 2. Like, I understand that concept. Like, okay, here's the introductory to algebra. Here's the next level.
Yeah.
But pre-algebra, we're going to teach you things about algebra, but it's not really algebra?
If you really
what
break
is pre-algebra?
If you break it down, pre-algebra is algebra 1. Algebra 2 is algebra 1.
Then call
and
it what it is and stop trying to mess around with things to make it bougie.
It's tall
or smarter.
It's tall, grande, and venti. It's the Starbucks sizing scenario all over again.
These people are the problem.
There's certain things in life, though, that you need a pre for. It's kindergarten, algebra, medicine. Yeah, so they need to make sure you're ready for kindergarten, algebra, and medicine.
Yeah. I think it's pre-stupid. I think it's quite stupid, but it's leading up to stupid.
It's beyond the border of stupid.
I'm staying out of this one.
Well, I mean, okay, fine. Like, if it was all, but no other subjects, now that we got pre-algebra. And if there's a pre-English and a pre-art and a pre-shop and a pre-whatever else out there, then I'm down with it.
I think Mike's just mad because they haven't come up with pre-bacon.
Well, I'm just saying, this is why does algebra get a pre? Nobody else.
It's a challenge. It needs the pre.
I think it's unnecessary. I think people just trying to. I think they're just trying to collect another paycheck. I'm going to start a pre-algebra class. It's like algebra, but it's pre.
You know, you got a friend at the top.
Think of it more as a remedial.
Why are you having a remedial before you even had it?
Remedial is
because
like remedial is like like after you've been learned it and then you forgot it and then you're remedializing.
Not necessarily. You're having to build some foundations to get to the actual.
That's what the RE and
class.
the RE means, to do it again.
I feel like this is a fight that Mike's been wanting to pick with Kim for a while. I just waited to do it on air.
Well, she knows better. Because she knows I will keep going and I will go till you're exhausted or defeated. And either way, I win.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, mercy.
It's the rope-a-dope method.
This is what I'm good at. No one will beat me in this. If you want to play this game, I will smart aleck you all day long. Just because. It's my one thing I like doing.
There's certain skill sets that we're given in life, and well, you just have to take advantage of them.
This is why I'm good as a DJ. You know, like some people, I'll just, come on. Because if you really think about the things we do sometimes, you're just like, what kind of dumbness is that? And I was like, why? Pre-algebra is one of them. Just call it algebra. Have an algebra 3, God forbid. We have algebra 2.
How long are we going to hang on to
Oh, no,
this?
we've got at least a good solid 3 more minutes of this.
That's right.
There you go.
All right. Let me give you the rundown.
It's a defense mechanism for people who don't know math. Just throw English at the problem until it solves
hiding
it.
the fact. I'm just saying. I've never claimed to be a math guy.
Same.
I'm stupid.
And when people who think like we do, encounter numbers, we just throw words at the problem until it's solved.
The problem is I'm what the kids call based. And that's my thing. I'm just too based.
You're based.
It's like, come on. You can't have pre-algebra when you have it out. I mean, come on. This is. But everyone throws words in to make them feel important and smart.
I mean, I feel like this is the part where I'm supposed to say, okay, boomer, and walk out of the room.
Say whatever you want. Well, I'm wearing green sweatpants and I don't care.
Green sweatpants and I don't care.
All back to I don't care. I don't care, but I think you're an idiot.
I'll be honest, we shouldn't have to care. The reason I got into radio in the first place is so nobody had to look at me. And they put cameras in here and screwed all that up.
Yeah. Everyone wants a podcast.
Right?
Anyway, Don Weld is here
Yes.
to talk Alzheimer's Association with us this morning. So we'll talk. He's patiently waiting while I crap all over the mass system. But we'll get an update from him. Of course, in the fall they have their big walk to end Alzheimer's, and now's the time to gear up teams and start putting those together. So we'll talk a little bit about that with Don here. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a look at your weather. I wish I had better news, but it's more hot and windy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid and upper 80s, but that gusty wind will be hanging around for a while, up to 30 miles an hour today. For the overnight hours, cloudy and breezy. We're in the upper 40s. Really windy on Tuesday. Sunshine, blowing dust. Our afternoon high in the upper 70s. We could get a few gusts at 50 to 55 miles an hour tomorrow. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, this is not fresh. Let me refresh. All right, there we go. Currently 41 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 38%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Today, right now, we actually not quite yet. At noon today, we will have a red flag warning kicking in. That will go through 9 p.m. this evening. For today, mostly sunny. High of 85. That's the good news. Bad news is winds will be out of the south, actually early 5 to 10. It's not bad now, but later today, those winds will increase 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. That is the pre-wind. It's the pre-wind for tomorrow. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, an overnight low of 45 with south winds 15 to 20, dropping down 10 to 15 after midnight. The real wind will start tomorrow. Wind 1 will start tomorrow with widespread blowing dust, mainly after 2 p.m. Sunny and 78 tomorrow, but the winds will be blowing out of the south early, 15 to 25 as the day progresses, increasing out of the west, 35 to 45, gusting as high as 60 miles per hour tomorrow. Tomorrow night for wind 2, widespread blowing of dust, mainly after 7 p.m., mostly clear, overnight low of 40. Winds will be out of the northwest, 35 to 40, gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. After midnight, winds will drop down 25 to 30 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and breezy, 64 for a high, north winds 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 70, breezy. Friday, sunny and 77. Saturday, sunny and 78. And then for the weekend, sunny and 78 on Saturday, sunny and 79 on Sunday. So, but they don't talk about wind there, but I'm going to guess it's there too. Just taking a hunch. They stopped talking about breezy Thursday, but I'm going to think it'll probably be for breezy Friday too, just a hunch. All right, it is 8:19. We got to take a break. Actually, it's a longer one. Apologize for that. Just a lot of ads. And then we will be joined by Don here wearing his Alzheimer's Association hat. Don't go away.
Coming this April 4th and 5th, the My Ashley Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets. Grab them right now and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
The need for American-made energy is forecasted to increase by over 50% over the next couple of decades. Coyote Willow Energy Park is a resilient, clean, and affordable solution to this increasing demand being planned in Chavez County. Join us at the Coyote Willow Energy Park Open House to learn more about the role Chavez County can play in meeting the need for an increased supply of reliable domestic energy. The project will provide a significant amount of new local job opportunities, millions of dollars of new local tax revenue, and local investments. Plus, it helps lower greenhouse gas emissions and improves grid reliability. It's a win for the local economy and the future of Chavez County. Stop by the Chavez County Joy Center in Roswell on March 27th between 5:30 and 8 p.m. Meet the team, ask questions, and discover how Coyote Willow Energy Park is powering a brighter future for Chavez County. Visit www.coyotewillowep.com to learn more and RSVP.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project, but not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Hey, Roswell, need a truck? You're in luck. Now is your time to buy a new Ford truck for a lot less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. For a limited time, get massive discounts on every new Ford and quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, plus 0% APR for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, so we're taking care of business. Big trucks, small trucks, work trucks, we've got them all for a lot less. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you, regardless of where you're at, for oil changes, tire rotation, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. Massive savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is 13.89 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinance and loan subject to lender approval. Offers not
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. I'm the third generation in this legacy that began with hard work and bold dreams. From Grandpa's footprints in the concrete to floor tiles laid in the 50s by my dad, Bill. Every detail of this building is a testament to our pride in providing quality furniture and service to you. On your quest for making your home beautiful and comfortable, come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on, with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
You'd be amazed what you can store in a skin fold. Good morning, it is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, now officially, wearing his Alzheimer's Association here, Don Weld back with us. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, but I just keep forgetting why I'm here. Oh, it's Alzheimer's Day. That's right.
Yes. For folks that aren't familiar, Don wears many hats. Don will join us to talk Friends of Bitter Lake. He'll talk the zoo with us, talk American Legion. But one of his other passion projects is the Alzheimer's
Group. Yep.
And of course, their big tent pole event is always in the fall here, the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and we are gearing up for another great Walk to End Alzheimer's. Different location this year, right? It's not back at the courthouse.
No, it's back at the courthouse.
Oh, is it back this year on the courthouse?
It'll be November 1st.
Okay. I know you guys moved away
Saturday.
for a little bit there, and I guess back to the courthouse.
Yeah. No, we've decided that we need the exposure down Main Street.
It is one of the most visible areas down, because especially on a Saturday, all of us are, out and about running our errands or doing whatever. You should go downtown at some point, or going from north to south or south to north, or downtown proper. Get you, come on down.
There you see them.
You'll see a bunch of folks in purple walking around the courthouse, hanging out, and basically
waving as you go by.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun. It's a multiple purpose event. Yes, at the end of the day, we're trying to raise money. It's a fundraiser. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to end Alzheimer's, and these walks are garnering so much money because obviously Roswell, New Mexico is not the only place doing one of these. We've got hopefully every town in America is doing one of these at some point, and we are so close to getting to a point where we can start saying we have a cure or at least a way to stop Alzheimer's.
Yep, we're looking for that white flower,
and that's what that's the goal here. And so the event itself is at the end of the day a fundraising event, but it is a celebration of those that are fighting and giving them encouragement to keep fighting as support, and whether it's just emotional support or physical support, whatever it is, it's a place to do that.
We do that.
It's also to mourn. It is as sad as we mourn those that we've lost this battle and celebrate the lives of the people we've lost to this. That's part of that too. So it's a little bit of a gamut, roller coaster emotionally. There's going to be laughs. There's going to be cries. There's going to be a little bit of everything. But at the end of the day, we want, and it's a community, and we want to invite, if you're battling Alzheimer's in some way, shape, or form, whether it's you yourself or a family member, if you're involved in that way, we'd love to have you come out and be a part of this.
Please join us.
Yeah, come for support. Come for Don as Don. There's a reason why Don's very much a part of this. He's walked in these shoes. He's been a caretaker of someone with Alzheimer's, dementia, these types of things.
And I don't wish that on anybody.
And unfortunately, the disease here is almost worse on the family than it is on the actual person. I mean, yes, no one wants to be any part of this equation, but at the end of the day, the person with dementia isn't almost,
they're oblivious.
Yeah, they kind of don't understand what's going on.
They're gone. So,
and there is something to be said about ignorance is bliss. I'm just
in this case, it is.
There is a little something to be said on that. And so, really, this disease is almost rougher on the family than it is on the actual patient here. And so that's why this event is so important, because yes, it's to raise money and find ultimately a cure for Alzheimer's, but it's to help the people that are picking up the pieces from what's going on.
Right.
Because it can easily destroy families if they don't understand fully what's going on. Because
the Alzheimer's Association offers that help. We have information. We can obtain that day off that the caregiver needs. We can arrange to have somebody come in and watch the one that you're taking care of. And give you that day off occasionally.
And that's the thing too, is a caretaker. You cannot be an effective caretaker if you're not taking care of your own needs.
You need to. Yep.
That is, I get it. As a stubborn mule, who understands the "I will go until you drop" on principle sometimes.
Yeah.
That's not the way to go on this one.
No, it isn't. Because you will drop.
Yeah.
You will drop.
And Don's the same way. I know it because he's got a veteran head just like I do. That's just the way we roll sometimes.
That's right.
We got a mindset of, I don't care if it's going to suck. It needs to get done. We're going to do it.
Yep.
And sometimes with Alzheimer's, that's not the best path forward.
the stress that I went through actually gave me a heart attack.
I would imagine you were probably putting your own self in a bit of a foot in a grave situation.
So, until I realized that I needed to back off and get some help and follow through. I didn't know about the Alzheimer's Association when my wife was sick.
So you didn't have any of that.
I didn't have the support
you and your island,
we can
so
offer.
To speak. Yeah.
Yep, and I had to find other means of support, family members, etc., which was extremely limited. They just couldn't. It wasn't that they didn't want to.
And they probably didn't have the knowledge either.
No, they didn't. They just didn't have what was needed.
Mm-hmm.
Alzheimer's, we can figure that out for you. We can help you.
It is a team effort.
Yep.
I know it feels, especially on the caregiver, feels like a solo mission, and
it
feels
does.
like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. It is not. That's
No.
what the Alzheimer's here is like. Look, we get it. We've all
been there.
We know where you're living right now, and we can help you make it a little bit better. We can help you navigate that.
It's definitely been there, done that.
Mm-hmm. and this is the sad part of Alzheimer's. It all ends the same right now.
It does.
Whether it's a years from now or months from now, it all ends the same.
Yep.
And that's the part that whether you're going to face it with people that can help you face it with dignity, with strength, and with the ability to do it in a way that's dignified, in a way that is, because that's just it. When folks with Alzheimer's and dementia and these things, depending on the type they have, they're different people. They're not the same. That you could find the most loving person that would have never harmed a fly, and you will hear and see the most vile things come out of them.
Oh yeah,
in that state, and because they're not the same people. The dementia, the things
nasty.
that they're experiencing is messing with their heads. They don't understand. They don't. I don't even know they can conceptualize where they're at and whether that's why you get the conversations where they think they're talking to someone that hasn't lived in 30 years.
That's right.
This is all part of that. Their realm of reality is blurring with their past, and their brain is not able to delineate the two.
Which causes a lot of anger.
Yes. And that has nothing to do with their personality. It's just the brain is not.
It's not functioning the way it should.
And so, and the sad part is when these folks have the moments of clarity, they know. They have the moments. They know that they're not right, but they can't for the life of them figure out what's going on.
Why am I not right?
And if anybody, and if you all know, anytime you're put in a situation where something's wrong, but you can't quite place it, the frustration, the anxiety, the things that create, now they add that to the equation.
Yeah.
Because they know something's not right, but they can't figure it out. And most people don't want to come across weak. And Alzheimer's exposes that. And they don't want to be exposed to that.
Right.
So it's going to create a certain animosity there.
You got
It's built up as well, too. So you're dealing with a whole cocktail of emotions from the cognizant to the non-cognizant. And they're floating in and out of that. And at the end of the day, all that's going to be is going to be an emotional just drain on their loved ones. It's just because you're seeing your loved one in something you never fathomed seeing them before. And it's really hard to wrap your head around it. And that's where the Alzheimer's says, no, you're not seeing your mom or your dad or your wife or whoever that is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the disease.
Yep.
That's what you're seeing.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference. It's, this is something that nobody should have to go through, but we do. And you do it because you love that person and you want to take care of them.
And the tricky thing is this is one of these diseases. At least with other diseases, we can delineate. Okay, there's family history. It's this. There's usually factors that are common.
Right.
That's the problem with Alzheimer's. There is commonality, then there's uncommonality.
That's
There
right.
is no, yes, sometimes it's hereditary, sometimes it's not. There is no.
That's right.
true patterns that they can trace it back and say this is where it originates. There's no trail to do that, where cancers and some of these other things have that trail.
Head injuries, anything.
It could be lifestyle, it could be hereditary, it could be something you can control, it could be something you have nothing to control over.
That's right.
All of these could cause all that. And that's why it's such a tricky disease to control, contain, and cure. But the good news is we've gotten so much progress. A person diagnosed with Alzheimer's, dementia today in the early stages can have a long, healthy life with proper medicine and treatment.
I've spoken with caregivers who, in some cases, the patient that they're taking care of, they're from the time they were diagnosed till the time that they died of Alzheimer's was a relatively short time, 2-3 years maybe. Other people, 20 years or better. So we don't know. We don't even know that.
Absolutely.
How long can somebody survive?
It takes a long time to kind of evolve, and then sometimes it's more aggressive.
That's right.
Again, no rhyme or reason. So,
nope.
But we can. But here's the good thing: is the medicines nowadays can even give you longevity, even if you're the more aggressive. Not as much longevity,
right?
But they are adding years to people's lives because of the medicines that they're
and
of quality life.
They're reducing because Alzheimer's also causes so much frustration and anger and things like that. The medicines now help to stabilize that so that they don't go through these peaks and valleys.
I noticed a lot, like, because you turn on TV nowadays, and when it's not commercials for food, it's for some kind of pill, or drug, for
medicine, for
anything
something,
from strokes to ED to whatever it is in between.
Right.
And I noticed one that's been making the rounds more popular is dealing with the aggravated dementia symptoms and things like that. Dealing with people that are
helping them to level out.
Yeah, I don't remember the medical term they use, but this form of dementia or whatever, it's really good in treating that. But this is why the walk to end Alzheimer's is so important. This is why, because we want families and we want people that are feeling like an island with this disease, show them they're not on an island. They're in a very big, very strong, very supportive community.
Right.
And the second is, yes, we're trying to raise money. We want to get you out there. We want you to get your friends together. We want you to get competitive. We want you to compete. We want you to, raise as much cash as you can through your team, because we would love to get to a point where, like we said, we're seeing the white flower. We're seeing people coming that are seeing reversing's of the symptoms, not progressions of the symptoms.
That's
it would
what
be
we're
nice
looking
to
for.
have a walk to end Alzheimer's, and we see someone in the next year they're doing better.
And like everything else, we need money to advance that research and find that cure.
You got to throw a ton of cash on this.
That's
thing.
right.
You got to Susan G. Komen it. That's what I
There
call
you
it.
go.
Because when you think of cancer and Susan G. Komen, the breast cancer and everything pink and all of that stuff,
a lot of money.
The recognition and money that's been generated from that, that's what Alzheimer's is doing, and it needs to continue to do. That's why we have these walk to end Alzheimer's every year. That's why we have the different flowers and pinwheels to signify who's where
who's
people
doing
at
what
on their battles with this stuff, and so we can show support, love, strength, and resources to these families. And that's another thing too. If you're a family in town and you're dealing with Alzheimer's, dementia, and all that stuff, and you are lacking resources or don't know where to turn, please reach out to the Alzheimer's Association. Let them call. Let them put you in touch with those. This is what they do. This is. I would even offer, and if you can't remember or find anything for Alzheimer's here, just dial 211. That's our health thing. The Health Council.
That's
they
right.
can put you in touch with the Alzheimer's folks.
There you
and
go.
Get you plugged into the resources and things for
they'll get you there. Or you can go on, if you have access, go online to alz.org. And from there you can navigate through their website to find all kinds.
One.
That's the national one.
You'll type the Roswell thing in locator, and that'll.
Yep. If you once you get alz.org, then you can go down from there. You can find the New Mexico form of it, then and then the Roswell form. Hey, if you're going to go that far, go down to Photo Finish and go to my
There you
website.
go. Yeah, if you, maybe you're like, I don't want to put a team together, but I'll support a team.
There you go.
Don will take you cash and
There you
all
go.
the money, and
It goes.
he'll do with that bragging rights and take it. But every dime of it goes back to the ALZ
Yep.
Foundation.
Yeah, it's I'm just a pass
So
through.
we have jokes and fun and bragging rights, but that's what we want to do. We want to have fun with it. Y'all have fun with it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got an office or organization and you want to put a couple teams together and start a little
That's right.
rivalry and have fun with it. Get goofy contests, dress up in costumes, whatever you want to do. Make it your own. But let's have fun with this as we generate as much cash and money as we can.
You can start your own team.
Yeah, or start your own team, or support another one.
Whichever one you want to do.
Yeah.
And you can do both at my website, even that Photo Finish.
Excellent.
Right from there, or just right on alz.org. They can show you how there is to start up your own team.
Yeah. Please get involved. If you, this is, and if you are a family in need, if you're dealing with this stuff, or maybe it's new, maybe you're getting hit with that diagnosis this week, and you're like, oh man, what do I do now? ALZ.org, reach out.
Yep. Or you can actually give me a call and I will help you too.
I know on Facebook there is a ALZ, a local chapter's Facebook page, ALZ, Alzheimer's Association Roswell, something like that, Chavez County. It should pop right up. And then you can reach out direct there, and Don or one of the other volunteers will get back to you and put you in touch with the people you need to. And,
That's right.
Or if you're just saying, hey, I just heard about this team, I want to, but I'm really computer illiterate. Can you help me sign up a team? No problem.
We'll do that too. I got all the paperwork and information.
When I don't think we've actually said the actual date of the event here in
November 1st.
Yeah, November 1
is this year. That's a Saturday. We always put it on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's always usually like that first Saturday in November, right around that.
Yeah, right around that. We were doing them in October, but October is so full. Roswell just really loves October.
Well, and to be honest, it feels like the farmers market has gone a little deeper the last couple of years. Like usually like wraps in September. I feel like it's been going into October these last couple of years.
I think it does.
Yeah, it's been usually because it's weather based.
Oh, it ends with the fair.
Yeah.
The same, the last Friday.
But lately they've been going that long. Because usually they end in September unless the crops have been good. And so they're like, we'll go into October with this a little bit now. So yeah, it's been, and guess what? That's where home, and by the way, if you've never been to that, July and August, Saturday mornings, your butt needs to be on the courthouse lawn at 7 in the morning.
It's a lot of fun.
Getting some produce.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of crafts and art and food and produce.
Kids, they get like they'll have games for the kids while you're shopping produce or shopping for burritos or crafts, because there's homemade crafts and things out there too.
Great burritos.
Yeah,
I love those burritos.
Like everything, and not all of it's fruit. Like if you're looking for like grass-fed beef and things like that, there's booths out there to get all that. So it's not all fruit and vegetables. There's for all you carnivores out there, they got you covered too.
Good chilies, good onions, good good everything.
And it evolves, like obviously as the crops, at the beginning of the
through the year,
farmers
throughout
market
the
season,
summer. Yeah,
it's a little light on chilies, but after about 2-3 weeks in, you start seeing more and more chilies show up, and then the other pumpkins and the various other produces. As the season goes, you'll see abundances of certain produces.
And I will be out there with the Legion table promoting Alzheimer's at that time, so you can stop by the Legion table and we can talk Alzheimer's if
Absolutely.
you want.
Yeah, Don's a one-stop shop. He can talk Bitter Lake with you. He can talk the zoo with you. He can talk Alzheimer's. He can talk American Legion.
Yep.
Drivers.
Veteran
Transport.
drivers.
Drivers Transport too. Which that one, while we're gotten that, they always could use volunteers. If there is if you like a Veterans Transport for Southeast New Mexico, I believe it's called on Facebook. You like and follow and shoot if you like to volunteer. They're looking for volunteers all throughout Southeast New Mexico. Even for like if you got friends that live in Carlsbad, Artesia, because a lot of times there's veterans out of there that needs trips here or vice versa.
Up to Albuquerque.
And so you work where your region is. So and we do need some veteran drivers in Hobbs and Carlsbad and Lovington and these other places. So Artesia.
Where sometimes it's a short drive, sometimes it's a 3-hour one-way drive.
Yeah,
You know?
it's could be. Not all the drivers are coming out of Roswell here. They're coming out of all over Southeast
Artesia. We have drivers in Artesia and Carlsbad. We did have one in Lovington, but she's kind of sick. Hasn't been able to drive lately.
We need some more volunteers.
We need more out.
And we need more than one, because that's the thing is, these are all volunteers. Their schedules are limited, and if we can get a stable, like it'd be nice if we had 3 or 4 drivers in each city.
Yep.
Obviously, Roswell and the bigger Carlsbad may be more than that, but like your Lovingtons and Artesias, it'd be nice to have 3 or 4. Your Hagermans and Dexters, Lake Arthurs, it'd be nice to have a couple of each of those cities on call available if there's a veteran that can in need to get to the Lubbock or
and
here,
that's what this is. We transport veterans, no cost to the veteran.
Yep.
To their doctor's appointments, medical appointments.
Yeah, whether it's in Albuquerque or El Paso or Lubbock or Artesia or wherever.
Amarillo, even.
Amarillo, yeah.
So, we've gone that far.
Yep, it does happen. So reach out because that's another great. I know, obviously, generally more people that are retired do this because they don't work and don't have.
We got more time.
More time to drive around the state to deliver folks and things like that, but. Whatever you can serve, if it's 1 day a month, that's 1 day we'd love to have you.
That's right.
Any little bit helps there.
Yeah.
If you can only serve a day a month or a couple hours every couple weeks, whatever it is, it would be a godsend. So. ALZ.org is the website, again, for signing up for the walked-in Alzheimer's or information, or if you're looking for resources to help you and your family. Go there and let's get the ball rolling to get you in the fold and get you to a point where you can maybe enjoy your life while you're dealing with this really rough situation. This is the thing, and that's the thing you got to remind people. Yes, we all know the end game here, but we ain't at the end game yet.
No, that's
quality
we're
of life.
Still on the main ride.
Right.
We're running like crazy, but
live in the moment.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you got left. And
We
this is
still
what the
got a
ALZ
long
can
ways
help
to run.
you do that.
Yeah.
So when you have in between the rough moments, there's the loving moments, the
Yeah.
memory moments, the bonding moments, the moments
right.
of clarity. Enjoy those moments as you have them during this process.
and try to
that's
get. If you need the help, give us a call.
Absolutely. That's what it's there for.
So
we all understand that no one wants to be in this situation, but let's make the best of what we can with what we got and make this, life happens. And what, how it ends and how it begins is you don't get control of that. But what you do in the middle is all on you.
That's right.
While you're still in the middle, control what you can control.
Right. Yeah. So, and if you need it, like it's the ALZ.org.
Yeah.
But if you need a phone number, you can call me and we'll make arrangements.
Yeah. Do you mind giving out your phone number over there?
575.
Okay.
Naturally, that's the area here.
There you go.
495-3325.
Very good. Don, and of course, if you don't remember any of that, shoot us an email. I'll get you in touch with
There you go.
No problem.
Veterans Transport. If you need something from Veterans Transport, if you're a veteran that needs a ride, or if you're a volunteer, wants to drive, wants to give back to the veterans by taking them to their medical appointments, that's a 575-622-0729.
Very good.
So
call it and leave a message. If you don't get a live person, they would love to get back to you.
Yeah, that office is only open 9 to 3 Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of volunteers, a lot of people, so they work when they have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all have day jobs and other things that other goals and things in life too.
So,
but did we get it all done? Is there anything we missed?
I think we did.
Again, if you have any questions about anything, and of course, don't forget if you're looking, because Don's here. Now that we're getting into warmer weather and windier weather, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Don't forget, now's the time to come out and get involved. If you want to be a friend, I'm sure there's lots of spring cleanup projects and things that they've got.
We'll talk more about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday you're coming in to talk about that.
And then on Saturday, not this Saturday, in April 19th is butterfly cleanup trail.
Oh, okay.
At a Bitter Lake. So we'll talk about that more on Wednesday.
Sounds good. Well, Don, as always, appreciate the visit. I'm sure it's Monday, so you got to go out and stomp a few fires out. So let's go do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get over this knee thing, so I got PT.
I'm about to say, when Don's not volunteering, he's like the rest of us. When we get older, we spend, it's either at a doctor's office.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's getting that way. So.
Right. When your contact is just full of doctors, then that's when you get that cert. That's where we're at. So we're Don's. He's not doing all these. That's why he does all these volunteers, because he's like, man, it's either this or I'm in a doctor's office somewhere. So I'm going to go hang out.
Might as well be out there doing things.
Bitter Lake.
Yeah, there you go. It works that way.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Don, and we'll see you here on Wednesday.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
All right, it is 8:52. Let's pause for news, Chaves County sports, and some commercials to pay for some food. Don't go away.
Yeah.
You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winter.
You got to
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cerullo. The U.S. Supreme Court hears oral arguments in the Permian Basin nuclear waste case. Depending on the ruling, delayed plans to store spent nuclear fuel near Carlsbad could get new life. The case seeks to restore the vacated licenses for 2 facilities that deal with nuclear waste. After the arguments, the court recessed and said it would make a ruling at a later date. Nobody knows when that date might happen. One of the proposed sites, Holtec International, near the Eddy and Lee County line, and the other is the proposed Interim Storage Partners site in Andrews, Texas, about an hour east. Meanwhile, a few days after the U.S. Supreme Court heard those oral arguments, the Carlsbad City Council took up the issue. In a symbolic vote, the Carlsbad City Councilors passed a resolution in support of the stalled project to store nuclear waste just outside the city. And the Roswell City Council has a special meeting planned for Tuesday with 2 items. One is for the Roswell Fire Department to apply for up to $100,000 for a critical hydrant issue management plan. And the second item is to accept a deed of release at the Roswell Air Center, the land sold for use as a modular home construction facility. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cerullo.
A lot of baseball over the past 3 days. Well, not past 3 days, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It culminated over the weekend. It's the Goddard Baseball Classic, the Southwest Baseball Classic. And it started off with NMMI pulling off a mild upset over Goddard by a score of 6-4 on Thursday. NMMI ended up falling in the semifinals to El Paso Da Vinci 12-2, and then lost on Saturday in the third place game to El Paso Cathedral 8-3. Meanwhile, Goddard's path after that game was a 9-7 loss to Clovis, but then walloped Gallup 22-2 on Saturday. Roswell was in the tournament too, losing to Sandia 18-2 on Thursday, walloping Gallup likewise 21-0 on Friday, then losing to Clovis 5-4 on Saturday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid and upper 80s, but that gusty wind will be hanging around for a while, up to 30 miles an hour today. For the overnight hours, cloudy and breezy. We're in the upper 40s. Really windy on Tuesday. Sunshine, blowing dust. Our afternoon high in the upper 70s. We could get a few gusts at 50 to 55 miles an hour tomorrow. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks rallied Friday, part of a volatile trading week on Wall Street that still had the major averages on track for weekly losses. But sentiment got a big boost Friday as Senator Chuck Schumer indicated his willingness to avoid a government shutdown, tariffs, and the potential for trade war and inflationary pressure continuing to be a point of concern for the market. Friday's economic data included consumer sentiment from the University of Michigan, and the metric fell more than 10 percentage points month over month, and the metric came in lower than economists expected. It is worth noting that survey is stark in its differences along party lines, but both Republicans and Democrats saw sentiment dip. The 5-year expectation for inflation hitting its highest number since early in 1993. And in response to that report, the benchmark U.S. 10-year Treasury saw its yield move higher. Company-specific news here, NVIDIA saw its share price pop on Friday. The chip maker and AI darling among the day's winners, as was Tesla, Meta Platforms, Netflix, Amazon, and Apple. And then for this week, investors are readying for the Fed's next policy meeting. It is considered a near certainty the central bank will hold rates steady. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
If you're looking for premium hand-rolled cigars blended by some of the best master blenders in the industry, using the finest aged tobacco from Nicaragua, with 4 different blends and complexities to satisfy any palate, try my all-time favorite at My Patriot Cigar Company. Right now, use promo code STONE for 25% off and free shipping on orders over $75. Go to mypatriotcigars.com and use promo code STONE. mypatriotcigars.com. It's a premium smoke for freedom-loving patriots.
Hey, Roswell, need a truck? You're in luck. Now is your time to buy a new Ford truck for a lot less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. For a limited time, get massive discounts on every new Ford and quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV. Plus 0% APR for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, so we're taking care of business. Big trucks, small trucks, work trucks. We've got them all for a lot less. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you, regardless of where you're at, for oil changes, tire rotation, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. Massive savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APRs, 1389 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced and loan subject to lender approval. Offers not to
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with operation aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Time to move on into the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell. Spring fabrics are here and summer fabrics are arriving daily with a great selection of quilts, shirts, and rope bowls made right here at the Calico Cow. And great spring deals on Brothers sewing machines. They're on sale now. Plus, the Calico Cow can fix and perform maintenance on all brands. Out of town? Log on to RoswellQuilting.com to order. The Cow ships direct. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Trying to close a deal to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. President Trump says he'll talk tomorrow with Russia's Vladimir Putin.
Citing his administration's work to end the Russia-Ukraine war, the president said he will talk to Putin and that maybe they will have something to announce. Russia invaded Ukraine more than 3 years ago, prompting the U.S. and European allies to help Ukraine defend itself. But since taking office, Donald Trump has aligned himself more with Russia and embraced Putin's hardline stance toward Ukraine's president. Greg Clugston, Washington.
President Trump's poll numbers are soaring. In an NBC News poll, Mr. Trump enjoys the highest job approval rating he has ever had. And more registered voters think the country is on the right track than at any point since way back in 2004. Build the wall. The Trump administration putting the pedal to the metal on that long-delayed project aimed at securing the border with Mexico.
A construction company is awarded roughly $70 million by U.S. Customs and Border Protection to expand the wall on the southern border. California-based Granite Construction Company has been contracted to build 7 more miles of the wall in Hidalgo County, Texas. The contract was announced by Border Patrol Saturday, saying its goal is to close critical openings in the wall built during President Trump's first term. Funding for the border wall program was frozen by Joe Biden when he took office. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Forecasters warn of powerful winds today from Florida all the way up to New Jersey. Potentially flooding rains possible across parts of the Northeast. Retail sales rose 0.2% last month, and that followed a 1.2% drop in sales in January. On Wall Street, the Dow trading about 241 points higher. The Nasdaq is down a fraction of a point, and the S&P is up 13. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Stations coming under attack by violent criminal gangs in Haiti.
The Telepluriel TV stations had heavily armed men stole most of its equipment and then set the compound alight. Many other buildings in the area were attacked during the night. Local media blamed a coalition of gangs known as Vive Ensemble or Live Together, which controls much of Port-au-Prince. Haiti's Prime Minister Alexis Diefils-Aimé described it as an attack on freedom of speech, but it's not clear whether the gangs were targeting media companies. They may have been responding to a new government offensive against organized crime launched earlier this month, which included drone attacks against their stronghold.
The BBC's Leonardo Rocha. North Macedonia's leaders vowing to hold those responsible to account for a nightclub fire. That fire left 59 people dead, 155 injured. News and analysis at townhall.com. An AI backlash in healthcare.
Hospitals are increasingly using AI assistants to handle scheduling and even patient questions about surgeries. But some nursing unions are pushing back. Michelle Mahan of National Nurses United says hospitals have been waiting for the moment when they have something that appears to have enough legitimacy to replace nurses. Mahan's group, the largest nursing union in the U.S., has helped organize more than 20 demonstrations at hospitals across the country, pushing for the right to have say in how AI can be used. I'm Donna Warder.
St. Patrick's Day being marked in cities across the country with parades and celebrations. New York City hosting one of the largest and one of the oldest parades in the U.S., stepping off today along Manhattan's famous Fifth Avenue. Some 150,000 participants and 2 million spectators expected. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy Viernes.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on this St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
Top of the morning to you.
Yes, get your green on. Do it for the third hour. My green is not on camera.
Showing them legs again.
Pantaloons are green. So.
Show off them gams.
I am greened up.
All greened up.
But happy Monday. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
I would encourage you on this St. Patty's Day to not take the little things for granted. Let me give you an example.
All right.
Went to a lovely restaurant for breakfast yesterday morning called Good Coffee. And by the way, I had a soda. But I ordered the huevos rancheros. It was delightful, but we'll get there in a second. It goes over the options.
Is this in El Paso?
This was in El Paso, Texas. Okay. So I bring this up to say just, not even far across the border, but just across the border. So he takes my order, eggs over, yada, yada. And I said, and green. He gave me this weird look. I said, green chili? He said, it's a queso sauce.
That line
I was
the
like,
line.
Huh.
Even though they're so close to it, they didn't know green. Huh?
They got this. It was they brought this. No, it was a delightful breakfast. I'm not gonna dog on or poo poo it.
Sure.
But the queso sauce that they brought out was very like liquidy with like little pieces of poblano peppers. I'm like, you guys aren't even trying. We're closer to Mexico than Roswell is. Y'all aren't even trying. But just getting that, it was so funny, just so close to the New Mexico border and saying green and getting that weird look. It's like, you don't get this very often? This doesn't just come up?
There's like Mexico, New Mexico, and that little strip where El Paso is Texas. And you're like, in that little strip, no green here.
And I didn't realize it until we ended up coming back a different route. And literally we were industrial El Paso, like the part where there's just like, a bunch of factories and stuff. And then literally after we got past that, they said, welcome to New Mexico. So it was like as soon as we got out of El Paso, we're in New Mexico.
And then they throw green chili in the car.
Right. But I wasn't like, overly offended, but I was like,
it's surprising. I mean, come on, you're pretty adjacent to at least have a green chili thing on it.
One's gotta imagine.
It is Texas and it's all Tex-Mex or bust here, but but oh well. Considering your location, you're surrounded.
So you are in green chili country, thusly count your blessings.
There you go.
Be thankful for the
because you could literally live a mile from it and not get it,
and just be deprived your entire life. You could never know the true joy that is green chili. Just 5,280 feet away.
Yeah, you'd think like El Paso would at least do what Colorado does. Texas green chili.
Yeah, do their green chili and say it's better and lie that it's better.
You're right, exactly, something like that. Guess not.
But
I noticed you said huevos.
Huevos.
I'm sorry, I thought I turned it on.
Yeah, I noticed you said huevos rancheros.
I did. Huevos, yes.
I don't think it's you don't need to.
Not that much emphasis on the H.
Yeah.
Saying what way, Roy? I like putting emphasis on the H. This is right back to Mike's pre-argument. I like putting emphasis on that H. So yes, it's huevos rancheros. That's how I've said it my whole life.
How do you say it, Roy?
Huevos.
Yeah.
Huevos.
Huevos.
You just
I guess technically I'm saying huevos.
The H is silent.
Yeah.
You went more W.
Yeah.
I'm also painfully white. So there's that.
Who white?
I will continue.
All I can think of is that scene from Major League. I think it was 2. Major League 2 with the Asian dude Tanaka always getting in an argument with what was his Jombu, whatever his name was. You have no huevos. And John would get mad.
I don't know. I've just always said it that way and literally never been corrected. Huevos, yeah, but huevos, I guess. Huevos rancheros. There.
No, yeah. I think
now
the H
let me
is
ask
silent.
you this: am I saying chilaquiles right?
Yeah,
because I heard somebody order chilaquiles the other day and it made me laugh.
Oh, I love a chilaquiles.
No, chilaquiles, yeah, right.
I wouldn't be surprised if that caught on, honestly.
Chilaquiles.
Yeah.
From the makers of Herlockales comes Chilaquiles.
Like quesadilla kind of was a hot thing for a minute there.
You know, it's funny. I want a quesadilla. I want to, dog on Roy for judging me for the huevos, but at the same time, I've often, gotten very offended at other people when they, doggone it, the one just left my head, the example. But when people mispronounce a specific word, I will instantly melt down on them. Like, no, you're not saying it right.
This is why I went to Jack in the Box.
Yeah. Almost exclusively. He had dinner at Jack in the Box.
And breakfast
and then
Jack in the Box.
Plethora. That's the other one. Yeah.
I knew that one gets
When
him.
you hear somebody say the word plethora, I just like, I'll punch you in your throat.
All I can think of, and yes, every time I hear that word is Three Amigos. The plethora pinatas. Because that's the first time I heard that word, and I've crowbarred it into life ever since he asked for a plethora pinatas.
Sometimes it's necessary.
And then sometimes I mispronounce words because I listen to a lot of Ernest going to camp, to jail.
No, me
and Toyota commercials that before he did Ernest things, it was, the epitome of excellence.
Epitome?
So I will say epitome instead of epitome so much because of Vern. You know what I mean? Or Ernest. I'm Vern. That's who he called.
Jim Varney.
Yeah, Jim Varney. Yes.
The late, the great. But I digress. It was just a little upsetting that, yes, when I ordered the huevos rancheros, they didn't offer green chili.
This is why I went to
Jack in the
Box. Yeah, they had like 3 of them on the right next, pretty close to each other on the strip.
Well, Jack in the Box. To be honest, you're not supposed to eat that till like 11 p.m.
No, you should.
Well, we did,
Mike.
We did actually. Exactly that time.
You should have stopped that. You're not supposed to eat that. Yeah, but honestly, we didn't get out of the event until after 11 o'clock. So we were like, hunting around for something to get, and just quick, he grabbed Jack in the Box.
When I was in the Air Force, there was a friend of mine that he swore up and down by those fried tacos that Jack in the Box had.
I will say, if you're drunk enough,
yeah,
they will soak it up.
That's the problem. They're not a sober man's.
No, they are not. Nobody's straight faced and goes, I think I'm gonna have a deep fried taco.
Yeah, you will
cap off my lunch
later. Yeah. You will. That one talks back to you. Big time.
It repeats.
Even the mini ones, just because they're smaller.
Those are just taco vitamins.
See, I didn't see that on the menu. Honestly,
no, it was there. I saw it.
Oh, okay.
You gotta look.
It's the I think you were looking at the burgers menu. It's in the like the $1.49 or whatever.
Oh yeah. Jack in the Box is known for their fried tacos. I mean, not much else.
Because when you think authentic Mexican food, you think Jack in the Box. Yuck in the box.
I like to get my Mexican food from a guy that has a big white foam clown ball.
Quite possibly the whitest mascot.
They had waffle fries too.
They did.
I want my Mexican advice from a guy that's really a thing you put on the end of a pencil head.
Oh, and by the way, it's pronounced waffle fries.
Waffle.
The H is silent.
That's right.
All right, let's get the hour going. We have guests patiently waiting, and they're probably really tired of hearing this. This is what I'm waiting for. But Josh McDonald with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is going to be joining us here. Coming up April 12th, the Roswell chapter of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is having their banquet at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. So Josh will join us here, talk all about the organization, talk about the banquet, and talk about how you can get in on the fun.
Yep.
So we'll do that with Josh here in a bit. Also, we'll have you up to date with the news of the local variety, Wall Street business updates, whatever else we can come up with this hour of the show. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment, hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid and upper 80s, but that gusty wind will be hanging around for a while, up to 30 miles an hour today. For the overnight hours, cloudy and breezy. We're in the upper 40s. Really windy on Tuesday, sunshine, blowing dust. Our afternoon high in the upper 70s. We could get a few gusts at 50 to 55 miles an hour tomorrow. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 34%. Winds at the moment out of the north at 6 miles per hour. That will change. We do have a red flag warning that will take effect at noon today and will remain in effect through 9 p.m. this evening. Mostly sunny today. Excuse me, I have hiccups. There they go. Mostly sunny and 85. Winds will be out of the south this morning, 5 to 10. As the day progresses, those winds will increase 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. So pre-wind, I guess we'll call it that. Because tomorrow's going to be way worse. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 45. South winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. For your Tuesday, we do have a fire weather watch that will take effect at 11 a.m. tomorrow, remaining in effect through midnight. High wind warning that will take effect at 10 a.m. and last through 11 p.m. tomorrow. Expect widespread blowing dust tomorrow, mainly after 2 p.m. Sun will be out between the dust. High of 78, but the winds will be blowing out of the south early, 15 to 20, increasing 35 to 45. Could see wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour on Tuesday. Tuesday night, the winds continue with widespread blowing dust, mainly before 7 p.m. Mostly clear otherwise with an overnight low of 40. Winds will be blowing out of the northwest, 35 to 40, gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. Winds will decrease 25 to 30 after midnight. Not much of a decrease, I guess, but decrease nonetheless. Sunny and breezy on Wednesday, high of 64. North winds 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies and breezy with a high near 70. Sunny and 77 for Friday, and then 78 and sunny on Saturday. Mostly sunny, 79 on Sunday. All right, 9:17. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute break, and then we will talk with Josh from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and talk about what they do and talk about the big banquet here on April 12th. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winter.
Coming this April 4th and 5th, the My Ashley Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets. Grab them right now and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort. This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Life may be like a box of chocolates, but what she really wants is a brand new kitchen.
From the cabinets to the appliances to the installation, Bush Woodwork and Appliance is your one-stop shop for an awesome new kitchen. Our designers will turn your ideas into a vision, and our craftsmen will turn that vision into an amazing new kitchen. At Bush Woodwork and Appliance, one call does it all.
And you always know what you're going to get, the best.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Roswell chapter, I guess you could say, Josh McDonald is here with us this morning. Good morning, Josh.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm so glad you can spend a few minutes with us. Appreciate this. I guess before we talk about the banquet and all the food and fun and all that we're going to have on the 12th, give folks a little bit about what the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is. I'm going to, people can kind of take a stab, based on the name. This is, this is with elks hunting. This is, it's all about the sportsmanship and just the traditions that are hunting and preserving and keeping those things going.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We started back in 1984. 4 guys started it. And way back then, they saw that we need to conserve. Mm-hmm. We need to conserve wild places for everything we like to do in the wild, mainly for us as hunting, but not just hunting, for public access. Absolutely. And for everything.
Well, and that's something that, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but this is something I don't think most people realize. People that don't hunt, fish, not outdoor people, they just watch it on TV or see, live in the city or whatever. They don't realize the best stewards and conservative people that are conservative, the nature and everything, are people that live in it and use it and dictate. Hunters are the best conservers of our nature than most people on the planet right now. And I think that's a misnomer that most people think. It's the people that are actually the hunters, the sportsmen. These are the folks that take care of the land way better than anybody else.
Absolutely, especially here in the United States, by any metric, hunters and fishermen are providing for conservation more than anybody else. And as we all know, as soon as 1 acre of land gets developed, it's gone forever.
Absolutely.
It will never be undeveloped. It will never get rewild.
Yeah.
So we need to conserve everything we can for hunting, fishing, and public access.
And so it kind of, to me, it's like, look, there's people on both sides of the spectrum that I really think at the end of the day, you want the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say is, this is common ground, folks. And for folks that, that's what these hunters and sportsmen are doing. They're out there saying, no, there's a place for both. We can protect the wildlife we have. We can be good stewards of the land, be good stewards of the animals and species and the different, cycle of life that goes on in these different pieces of property. And because the alternative is it gets turned into a neighborhood, a golf course, a new commercial shopping complex, or they just turn it into wilderness that nobody can do anything with. And guess what? When that happens, it gets worse than better, because now there's no one mitigating it, and there's fires, there's animals that can't do their natural thing because man is basically leaving that our hand has been there. We can't just leave it back to nature without there being consequences. So this is that creamy mix where humans and animals and nature coexist. How do we do that together?
Absolutely. And in a country that is divided in so many ways, almost all of us can agree that we do need wild places that people can go to and seek some solitude and use that resource as well.
But it's also the traditions of us, of Americans and humans, contrary to popular beliefs, your burger did not come from a grocery store. I mean, you got it from there, but that's not where it came from. And guess what? They're back in, early country history. There wasn't a lot of cattle farms or any of that either. So guess how Americans got their food.
Right. And no matter who your ancestors are, all of them were hunters somewhere down the line. So that is part of our heritage.
And so that's what it really is, getting back to the nature, what humans and Earth, how we're supposed to coexist. And that's really what you guys are about.
Absolutely.
And so that's the kind of thing I'm trying to say. And this is what it makes, because we get your PETA World people and all those green, and I'm like, you don't realize the people that live and work and do and everything, the last thing they want is to live in a bad environment. So they're going to do extra hard to make sure that it's within, it's the same thing with, and I know this is out of your realm, but oil and gas and it's the same thing. Guess who lives in these places they're talking about? Oil and gas companies. They're going to be good stewards of it too. And this is the people that use the land and live in the land, or are a part of the land, are going to be the best stewards of the land. And this is what you guys are about.
Yeah, absolutely. And bring up oil and gas, and we are not anti-development by any means. We understand, we need timber, we need oil and gas, we need mining, and we also need places where we can go and we can recreate and we can hunt and we can fish, and we can all use those lands to the best that we need for our society.
Yeah, this is really about becoming one with our relationship between our nature and Earth and man and its place in it. And this is and there is a right way to do this. And that's
there's a balance to everything.
Yeah, there's a balance to it. There's extremes, like you said, and that's what and New Mexico is one of these beautiful states that we have, and we got to balance it. Preserve the things, the traditions, the heritage, the culture, the way of life of rural folks. But at the same time, we get, they're going to build the power plant. They're going to build the transport. They're going to build a community here. And so that's where we got to find the balance where we can do that. But at the same time, we have a place where we can go and take our family and hunt and camp and fish and enjoy the outdoors.
Right. And we want to make sure that we have those heritages and those traditions that keep on going. And as we know across the country, some of those traditions are under attack, and Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is there to stand up for hunters and their rights.
Well, and I grew up Maryland East Coast area. That's where I'm from, the DC area, and similar but different problem is folks, East Coast is just way more developed than the West. It's just, they've had a little bit of a head start.
Right.
But it's just, land is not as open and available as it is out west here. To buy an acre of land in the DC area is way harder to do than an acre of land in New Mexico.
Sure.
And it's all developed and so if you want to see what the kind of things that you guys are trying to preserve, take a trip back east. Because that's what happens unfeathered and what the big battle is now, because really the biggest patches of grass and green and things are in some of these areas are historical battlefields and where, things like Valley Forge and Gettysburg and things like, and so the big fight there is to preserve these places because they're losing more and more of these places. And it's sad. You go to Gettysburg and you're sitting there at the most biggest impact of the battle and you're seeing, and then you look in the distance, there's a KFC, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what we're trying to avoid, you know what I mean? And so the battle is kind of lost back east. And so we need to preserve what we got out west here, because if it doesn't, go look at New York City, go look at Washington, D.C., go look at their surrounding areas. The state of Maryland, it does have trees and green and grass and is way greener in here, but it's a suburb of Baltimore, D.C. There is very little what would be considered rural areas back there. I mean, there's some few tobacco farms south and the east, but it's strip mall after where towns bleed together. That's something that I learned out here. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like back east, I just went through buildings and I see a sign that says, now I'm in Clinton, now I'm in Waldorf, now I'm in here. You literally drive an hour between towns or 3 hours between towns.
Sure, absolutely. And we want to make sure that we have some of those public spaces that are available.
And I know I'm getting winded and over the thing here, but this is what I'm trying to tell folks is you want to see what the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is trying to preserve. it's see what East Coast looks like, and that's what happens when you lose it.
Right. And we just hit a major milestone. We just hit 9 million acres conserved earlier this year. So that's a huge number. Of course, that's throughout the whole country. But that's 9 million acres that will never be developed.
Exactly here. So if you want to be a part of this, learn more about it, have a good time, the annual banquet for the Roswell chapter of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation will be happening here April 12th. Out at the Eastern Mexico State Fairgrounds. Are you in the commercial building, Hobson Hall, or you know which building it is?
It's the right next to the, I think it was the dairy area.
Okay. It might be Hobson Hall.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah. Did they say the new building? Did they say anything like that? Did you hear any of that talk?
You know, I don't remember which one it is.
But anyway, it'll be there at the fairgrounds. Just, park all the cars there. Now, talk a little bit about what's going to happen there on the 12th. A little bit about what the night's like and what you guys are going to be doing.
So the doors open at 5. We'll have some games, some raffles. Last year, I want to say we gave around about a dozen firearms we gave away.
Nice.
So yeah, you can come win a firearm. There'll be lots of other stuff.
Because you want to get people bring food and guns. The two things people show up for.
Yep. And we'll have a catered dinner there around 6:30. Probably dinner will be served, and we'll have a silent auction, a live auction. Great time, and just a good group of people to come and hang out with, and like-minded people that really care about what the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation stands for, which is the future of elk, other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage.
If you are a hunter, a sports person like to go fishing and camping and enjoying nature, then guess what? Your mission is the same as their mission.
Absolutely. Yep. And I would say, at least here in New Mexico, and I deal with the whole state, I would say about a third of our volunteers don't hunt. They just support the mission.
Sure.
So most of our volunteers are hunters, but not all of them.
Yeah.
So even if you don't hunt, you're still welcome to come down.
If you can appreciate the beauty and the nature and what is New Mexico, if you can appreciate that, then you can also appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. And you can always find us on rmef.org. I want to throw that out there. There's a little button there you can volunteer.
Okay.
And if you hit that button and give us your name and email, it'll come to me. And no matter where you are in the state, I mean, we need help here in Roswell. We need volunteers. We would love to have everybody down here. But if you're listening and you're somewhere else in the state, just hit that volunteer button, and I'll get you in touch with a chapter near you.
Absolutely, yeah. This is the thing. This is, we support it. Yes, if you're here in Roswell, please, love you. But yeah, if you're in Lovington or Hobbs or up north, let's get you in touch with some of those folks too.
Absolutely. And the backbone of Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is volunteers. The only way we can get what we do done is through volunteers. And we have banquets, and we also have work projects throughout the state. So we do things like providing guzzlers, wildlife drinkers, reseeding after fires, getting rid of old fencing. So we do a lot of projects throughout the state, not just fundraising, but fundraising is a lot of what we do as well.
Putting that the actual conservation work and repair work from Mother Nature's previous
yes, sir.
Mother Nature's things and stuff, or man's implement there on Mother Nature there, which does happen. And to be honest, this is the kind of stuff like, and I don't like getting political, but this is one where you need to understand a little bit of the impact of politics here. When they kind of come and make these natural wilderness, when the federal government designates land as wilderness, the problem there is that it becomes off limits to everybody. And what happens is, and I've talked to enough folks that live here and understand, is when that happens, is the wilderness grows back. It grows, and it becomes a bigger fire hazard because no one's there preventing that from happening. Animals lose hunting grounds because this is why you see, when they started creating wilderness up in Lincoln County, now you're seeing spotted owls hanging out at Walmart. You know why? Because they can't hunt in their grounds anymore because it's too thick to see it. So now they're hanging out at Walmart hoping you drop your hot dog. So that's what's going on there. And so this is the thing. We can't just let it go back to Mother Nature because we're already here and it's going to create problems. But we can go the other way and be a working hand partner with Mother Nature, so we can preserve these lands but still mitigate them so they're not fire problems, so that the animals continue to live and use in these things the way that they were doing it before. And so this is the balance, and this is where organizations like the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundations, that we don't want it to get the federal government making wilderness and we can't do nothing to it. We want to have that relationship between humans and our land and doing the things that generations of families have been doing before there. So that's what it's about.
Right. And one of the things that Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is doing more recently is getting more into the advocacy.
Yeah.
And there is a page there on our website that shows you exactly what we support. And one of those things is the active management of public lands. We really do support active management.
And so that's what we got. Because if we don't, then they try to put it in the wilderness, and then that makes it actually worse rather than better. At the end of the day, it does, because it just creates other problems. There's just been a big history of that. So that's. But this is. I know we're getting down that road, but this is what happens when people that live in Washington that have never set foot in places like this make decisions about places like this.
And that's one of the things that Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation does do well, is that we have around 200 to 240,000 members throughout the country, and we need more members here in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So again, the volunteers are our backbone, and I would love to have more volunteers
This is
here.
real conservation, not puppet conservation. If that's what I mean, it's like clean energy. If you believe in clean energy, you're I got some oceanfront property in Arizona to say there's no such thing as clean energy.
Right.
It does not exist. There's kind of like that when it comes to this world too. There's a lot of people that do things and say things that sound good, and then there's people that actually really do the work and actually do the stuff. This is what I'm talking about. These are the folks that live the area, breathe the area, they're part of the area, and they're doing everything they can to be one with the area, unlike some of the other things you're dealing with. So if you are a true conservationist, if you're a true believer in our land, these are the types of organizations you need to be involved in, not some of these others. That's what I'm saying. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Josh, if I'm off, please tell me. But that's kind of, there's a difference between being a whatever fighter and then actually doing the work. And that's what the difference is. And please know that.
Sure, absolutely. And there are several other conservation organizations out there that do a great job, and we partner with a lot of them, Ducks Unlimited, some other organizations that support hunting as well. I happen to believe that Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is the best conservation hunting related organization out there.
People that do extreme things to gather attention, and I'm not going to name names, you all can figure those things out. That's about all they're good for. When it comes to the real work and getting the actual thing done, you need people with boots on the ground, people that have actual knowledge, actual experience, and actual history with these things.
Right. And there are the other side of it too. Like I said, hunting is being attacked throughout the country. So if you believe that's an important part of our country and our heritage, we would love to have you as a volunteer. We'd love to have you as an attendee to the banquet, and come on down and you'll meet people just like you and have the same similar thoughts.
None of us would be here without those people doing what they did before us.
Sure. Absolutely. We all would have starved to death.
Yeah, absolutely. So April 12th, what time does everything get underway there?
Doors are open about 5.
Okay.
Like I said, there'll be games and raffles, and we'll probably have dinner somewhere 6:30ish.
Excellent. And then, of course, this is a annual fundraising event for the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation Roswell chapter here, all going to conservation, going to preserving our hunting grounds and our lands for the next generations of families to enjoy and keep the Starbuckses and Taco Bells and McDonald's and
right
out of there.
Yeah.
Go camping.
And we would love to have everybody that can attend come on down and please buy your tickets early. We do have to, we've got a caterer, we've got to get them numbers. So the earlier you buy the tickets, the better it is for planning for us.
What is probably the most efficient way to get tickets for folks?
Easiest way is just go to rmef.org and go to events and go to New Mexico. And that'll show you all the New Mexico events happening.
Good deal. And then, in fact, if you have friends in other parts of the state or other states, you can, because like I said, all over the country, these banquets are going on. Maybe you got some friends in Texas or Utah or north. They can get involved in their local Rocky Mountain events and activities.
Absolutely. Like I said, we need volunteers everywhere. I mean, here in Roswell, that's what I'm here for. I would love to get more volunteers here. But if you live somewhere else in the state, let me know. And
put it on the radar.
And if you're anywhere else in the country, we need volunteers everywhere.
Yeah, this is strength in numbers. This is one of those things. And to be honest, the more and to be honest, this is something like when you guys go, because I imagine there's times where you guys are pleading to Congress or various other government entities to get them to see what you're doing. And the way they can get those audiences is the numbers in the organization, the membership numbers. Things like this is why, like if you look at American Legion and VFW and these things, they have strength in numbers. When they roll into Congress with something, they got a lot of people backing behind them. This is what you guys, the more people that are members of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, whether it's here in Roswell or in Maine or wherever they're at, when they walk into Congress to go say, this is what, they can come and say, we got our 1 million members or whatever that number is behind us on that. And that money and votes make elected people listen. Right. And if you can threaten either one of those, they're going to listen to you.
And when we're a united group, we are a very powerful group. Yeah. And like I said, there are groups against us right now and a group against the American way and our hunting heritage. Mm-hmm. So like I said, if you care about that, now is the time to step up, become a member and hit that volunteer button, and we can put you to work. We need you.
Absolutely. So yeah. And if you want to get more involved, Josh will probably have a few, I'm sure we've got definitely some committees and some different activity that we can get you more involved in.
Right. And no matter what your strong suit is out there, whether it's finance or whether it's digging ditches, like I said, we do work projects, we do fundraising, we do everything. So
absolutely. Yeah. Your lawyer skills, your accounting skills, your business skills, your leadership skills, whatever those skills are skills that are a benefit to the Rocky Mountain Elk.
Yes, sir. And at the end of the day, it's a benefit to our country and a benefit to our way of life. So we appreciate everybody that can help us out.
This is how we fix things and make things better in our life. I know it's fun to get on Facebook and spout and complain about whatever thing is in your craw at that moment. But at the end of the day, if you want it fixed, the only people going to fix it are the people that are caring about it. If you want a better place to live, get out and do something about it. If you're waiting on a government entity to do that or some other organization to do that, you're going to be waiting a long time.
I could not have said it better. Thank you.
Is there any other information, anything that Josh we want to mention that I sometimes get spaced on things, or just anything about the organization that we wanted to touch on that I kind of sidetracked us on?
Sure. We are on Instagram and Facebook, but the best place to get information is rmef.org, and we've got everything there from hunting tactics to our advocacy page to recipes to the volunteer work we're doing out throughout the country. So that's probably the best way to go. And like I said, we need help. So
this is as much as it is the advocacy group, it is a social group too. So
it's a community. Yeah, absolutely. And even if you don't think you have something to help, come on down. And once you start talking to people, if nothing else, you talk to people about what they were hunting last year, where they had success, where they didn't see things. So it's a great place to just come hang out and talk to like-minded people. Right. You got it.
Yeah. How do you think all these fishermen find them good secret fisherman spots? They talk to each other. Same with hunters.
Yes, sir.
They might even let you use your blind stand if you're nice enough to.
That's asking a lot.
Just as long as they're not there,
right.
On the off weekends or whatever.
Right.
Good deal. Well, Josh, thank you very much for joining us here, and anytime you want to come on, even if it's just to say, hey, we're here, and we'd love to get more people. We'd love to have you do that. So.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. It really means a lot to us. Thank you.
Anytime. And again, April 12th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Doors open at 6 p.m.
5 p.m. doors open.
Sorry. And then you can get your tickets, again, at the website.
rmef.org, and just go to events, go to New Mexico, and it'll be right there.
And if you remember none of that, just Google Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and it should be the first thing that pops up on your, Google search there. So awesome. Thank you, Josh. I'm sure you got a few fire stops. We'll let you go do those, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.
It is 9:45. Man, this morning's zipping by. I feel like it was just like 7 o'clock like a minute ago. But yeah, it's 9:45. Let's do this. Let's pause for news, weather, and a few commercials before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cerullo. The U.S. Supreme Court hears oral arguments in the Permian Basin nuclear waste case. Depending on the ruling, delayed plans to store spent nuclear fuel near Carlsbad could get new life. The case seeks to restore the vacated licenses for 2 facilities that deal with nuclear waste. After the arguments, the court recessed and said it would make a ruling at a later date. Nobody knows when that date might happen. One of the proposed sites, Holtec International near the Eddy and Lee County line, and the other is the proposed Interim Storage Partners site in Andrews, Texas, about an hour east. Meanwhile, a few days after the U.S. Supreme Court heard those oral arguments, the Carlsbad City Council took up the issue. In a symbolic vote, the Carlsbad City Councilors passed a resolution in support of the stalled project to store nuclear waste just outside the city. And the Roswell City Council has a special meeting planned for Tuesday with 2 items. One is for the Roswell Fire Department to apply for up to $100,000 for a critical hydrant issue management plan. And the second item is to accept a deed of release at the Roswell Air Center, the land sold for use as a modular home construction facility. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
We have one guy appeared to be protesting against Elon Musk. Well, this idiot accidentally apparently lit himself on fire while trying to vandalize the electric vehicle charging stations, according to South Carolina police. The incident unfolded last Friday at the Tesla charging stations in North Charleston. The man wrote "Free Ukraine" as well as another message against President Trump with an expletive included. According to a report from the North Charleston Police Department, police said the man had ignited some material that was stuffed into beer bottles and threw them at the stations. And witnesses told police that he lit himself on fire by accident and then fled the scene. What a genius.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, you exhausted every day? Maybe you have the 3 p.m. crash or struggling with memory issues, having a hard time focusing. You have to stop and pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. I never run out of energy, and I'm fully focused. Strong Cell. It's a revolutionary supplement that has truly changed my life. I use it every single day. It gives you natural energy, helps me stay focused all day long, and just makes me feel better overall. Whether you're a working mom or dad or homeschooling your kids or some of our loyal men and women behind the wheel across the country, try Strong Cell. It'll change your life. Linda uses it as well.
I use it every single day. I have my kids using it, my parents using it, my in-laws using it, my friends using it, and I am telling you, it is immediate. It is one of the only ways you can get NADH on the market, and it works.
Go to HannityStrong.com. Use the promo code Hannity. You get a special 20% off any order. Once again, HannityStrong.com. And Strong Cell believes in their products so much, you get a 60-day no-risk policy. Invest in your health. I did it. It changed my life.
A lot of baseball over the past 3 days. Well, not past 3 days, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It culminated over the weekend. It's the Goddard Baseball Classic, the Southwest Baseball Classic. And it started off with NMMI pulling off a mild upset over Goddard by a score of 6-4 on Thursday. NMMI ended up falling in the semifinals to El Paso Da Vinci 12-2, and then lost on Saturday in the third place game to El Paso Cathedral 8-3. Meanwhile, Goddard's path after that game was a 9-7 loss to Clovis, but then walloped Gallup 22-2 on Saturday. Roswell was in the tournament too, losing to Sandia 18-2 on Thursday, walloping Gallup likewise 21-0 on Friday, then losing to Clovis 5-4 on Saturday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid and upper 80s, but that gusty wind will be hanging around for a while, up to 30 miles an hour today. For the overnight hours, cloudy and breezy. We're in the upper 40s. Really windy on Tuesday. Sunshine, blowing dust. Our afternoon high in the upper 70s. We could get a few gusts at 50 to 55 miles an hour tomorrow. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. American shoppers stepped up their spending just a bit last month following a sharp pullback in January. Retail sales rose 0.2% in February, a small rebound after a sharp drop of 1.2% in January. President Trump vowing to push ahead with more tariff hikes. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One, Mr. Trump said he has no intention of backing away from another round of tariffs due to take effect on April 2nd. Mr. Trump says additional tariffs are coming on autos, steel, and aluminum. After setting a record less than a month ago, Wall Street is coming off its fourth straight losing week, the longest such streak since August. China's industrial output rose almost 6% in the first 2 months of the year from a year earlier, while retail sales were up 4%. That, according to government statistics released earlier today. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The need for American-made energy is forecasted to increase by over 50% over the next couple of decades. Coyote Willow Energy Park is a resilient, clean, and affordable solution to this increasing demand being planned in Chavez County. Join us at the Coyote Willow Energy Park Open House to learn more about the role Chavez County can play in meeting the need for an increased supply of reliable domestic energy. The project will provide a significant amount of new local job opportunities, millions of dollars of new local tax revenue, and local investments. Plus, it helps lower greenhouse gas emissions and improves grid reliability. It's a win for the local economy and the future of Chavez County. Stop by the Chavez County Joy Center in Roswell on March 27th between 5:30 and 8 p.m. Meet the team, ask questions, and discover how Coyote Willow Energy Park is powering a brighter future for Chavez County. Visit www.coyotewillowep.com to learn more and RSVP.
Hey you, Seth Pena at Richland Auto. It's March Madness at Richland Dodge, and we're not talking about basketball, but amazing deals on vehicles. It's game on for a used car sale at Richland on Southeast Main. Score big on a wide selection of high-quality used cars at unbeatable prices. With over 100 vehicles to choose from, all with mad savings and special financing options. So take advantage of our madness. At the Richland Dodge used car sale, get a slam dunk deal on your dream car. It's only at Richland Dodge, March 13th through the 15th at 1309 Southeast Main Street.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:53. Got a few minutes here before they kick me off the radio. Of course, if you missed any part of our show earlier in the day, I always invite you to go back and check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. They're set there by date, and if you click the date, then a little drop thing with all the interviews separated by just the interviewer there. So this morning, we had City Councilors Juliana Halverson and also Chantel and Shaylin from Animal Services join us, talking about the new ordinance that they passed in December that will take effect here April 10th or 11th. I don't remember exactly, but right around that time. And get ready.
Gotta have them on a chain.
Yeah. So
husbands too.
Yes.
Yep. Chain them up.
Yep. I actually got to take the dogs off the chain, put the husbands on the chain. I think that's how it works. But anyway, so we had a great conversation there, and then 8 o'clock hour we had Don Weld with his Friends of Alzheimer's, not Friends of Alzheimer's, Alzheimer's Association, not Friends of Bitter Lake. They're Alzheimer's Association.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking
Friends
about
of Bitter Alzheimer's.
Yeah. That's not a bad combo.
No, it's not. I got it. I'm not happy about it.
But so we walked into Alzheimer's, talked about that stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, just a few minutes ago, we had Josh McDonald with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation talking about their banquet here on the 12th.
Did you bring it up on the air that the gentleman had a resemblance?
No, I didn't. But yes, my wife did not see it.
Mike called me in from the other room. He goes, Sean.
Oh, I told my wife. I did it. I hopefully didn't embarrass the guy. I didn't mean to.
I was thinking about that. I was like, ooh, kind of put him on the spot.
But Josh, yes, from like his eyes and like if you top the top of his head and the bottom of his head, it just looked like his eyes, nose, that area. Mark Wahlberg.
I didn't.
Oh, turn around.
Oh, I got to turn my.
So you weren't able to see the resemblance?
No.
It's one of those, and I've had this same exact thing where it's like I'll see somebody and I'm like, oh, you look like, and other people don't see it, but it's like if you have the ability to block off certain parts of their faces, I was able to see it.
And he was like, yeah, no one's ever told me that before. And I'm like, really? I cannot not see it.
Of course, I then asked the dumbest follow-up question maybe ever. Are you from the Boston area? Because, they just all look like that, Sean. Dummy.
Deep baked beans and chives.
Were you ever a part of a rock band, but then decided you wanted to go solo?
Sing the praises of Sam Adams Lager.
From Boston. But,
why don't people talk more about their baked beans? Like, everyone talks about New England clam chowder, but the baked beans.
Have you ever had Boston baked beans?
I love them.
Do you really?
Uh-huh. Not the candy.
Yeah.
I'm talking actual Boston baked beans.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had Boston baked beans like
well, they're
beans.
baked beans. They originate from Boston.
Oh, I thought.
They're home to
See,
Boston.
I assumed that was like a brand or maybe
No.
a thing. I don't know.
Like Maryland crab cakes.
But when I think of Boston baked beans, I think of candy coated peanuts.
Not the crappy candy that your grandparents ate.
Mhm. I brought
baked
this up.
beans.
I brought this up a while back, and I still don't have an answer for it.
Uh-huh.
Every single time you go through any checkout, like in America, it feels like there's always a display of those peanut patties.
Yes, the red ones.
The red peanut patties. I have never in my entire life seen anyone purchase one of those.
My grandmother.
Really?
All right.
But
I always see them at Farmers. Farmers is usually the staples where you see them. Her parents, we were all at Farmers for something. I don't remember, we were buying something, and I saw those, like, does anybody ever eat those or anything? And her, I think it was Ronnie or Terry, one of the two.
Weston Mom.
It was one of the two. They were like, oh, they were great. We eat them all the time. You should try them. And I'm like, all right. I mean, it can't be that bad. It's some kind of sweetened peanut or something, right? Put it this way. I have never in my life thought that your communion wafer was delicious until I ate one of those bad boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, these things make community wafers taste like rack of lamb.
I don't know. I mean, it's candied peanut, but I don't know what candy they're using.
It is the most god awful. I'm pretty sure it's just the peanuts. Like they left the dirt in it or something. I don't know. To me, it just tastes like red dirt and nuts.
Now, I will say the really, really thick candy coated peanuts, like the really thick candy coat, I like those. But it has to be that really thick candy coat.
The ones that look like a pancake
is
or a cookie,
just those are god awful.
I'm like, what? Who made you mad that you put these out in the world?
Here's the thing: you see products leave store shelves like that because of a lack of sales, and yet I've never in my entire life, save for maybe a few of the older folks among us, buy those patties, and yet they're always there.
Yeah,
someone must eat them.
I'm
revolted by them, and I gave them the college try. I said, "Come on, it's supposed to be a sweet treat. It can't." And I'm like, why would you make these?
That being said, I am curious. How do you feel about like Mexican candy, like the chamoy, the tamarind?
Some I've had all right.
It's all right to you,
yeah,
because a lot of people compare those two. They say like the patty, like that candy that they use is kind of like the Mexican candy, but it's not.
We're almost out of time here, but
Yeah.
to me, it's like one of those things that they just hadn't invented better food yet when this was out, and some people that lived as a kid, and so it's a memory thing to them, but there's so many better things now than that thing.
If you need another example, Necco wafers.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Well, like my grandmother, like saltwater taffy and Mary Jane's. I mean, come on, these are old people.
I like saltwater taffy.
They're
I'm
fine.
gonna stop you there.
It's fine, but to have a love and a craving for it, like she did.
Yeah, I've never really had a super.
That
you know
ain't
what?
that good.
My craving for saltwater taffy is, oh, you're going to a place with saltwater taffy? Get me some.
Right. Sit in a box on a shelf for 3 years.
Thanks.
We got to go.
Yep.
You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day. Thank you for allowing us to be a part. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Both Washington and Moscow confirm that President Trump and Vladimir Putin will discuss Ukraine in a phone call on Tuesday.
Hopeful that he can help bring the Russia-Ukraine war to an end, the president is set to discuss the conflict with Putin. Russia has gained control of large sections of Ukraine during the three-year war. In order to stop the fighting, Donald Trump said there will be conversations about dividing up certain assets, including land and power plants.
White House correspondent Greg Cluxton. Also at townhall.com, as one deadly storm exits in the east, More is expected in the west.
The National Weather Service says it's investigating just how many tornadoes blew through the Midwest and South, killing more than 3 dozen and destroying hundreds of homes and businesses. Meteorologist Mark Chenard.
Friday, like 46, and then 41 on Saturday.
The severe weather also included deadly dust storms, fires, and flooding. Chenard says what's left is rain along the East Coast, which should clear Monday, but another storm is forecast for the Rockies and Plains over the next couple of days. I'm Julie Walker.
Americans stepped up their spending a bit in February after a sharp pullback the previous month, signaling that consumers are shopping more cautiously as concerns about the direction of the economy mount. Retail sales rose just 0.2% in February, a small rebound after a sharp drop of 1.2% in January, according to the Commerce Department. Auburn, the top overall seed in the NCAA tournament, with Duke, Houston, and Florida joining the Tigers on the number 1 line in the March Madness bracket. A record-setting 14 teams from the SEC made the tournament. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is up 185 points, but the NASDAQ Composite 86 in the red. More at townhall.com.
Charlie Kirk here. I've been thinking, why does it feel like losing weight is harder than ever before? Mixed messages, fad diets, and quick fix solutions. Many people are left stuck and exhausted trying to fight a battle they can't seem to win. If you feel this way, you're not alone. I used to feel that way too. But let me tell you, it's not your fault. Your body is working against you, and delaying action only makes it harder. I took a step 2 years ago and called PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition and lost 40 pounds. I feel great and have kept it off. If you are ready to make a change for life, call 855-696-2020. That is 855-696-2020 to schedule your weight loss consultation. The first 11 callers who mention healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy. Visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It works, everybody. Check it out at myphdweightloss.com.